Start the show.
Start it.
Welcome back to the Bonsai Movie Crew. It's me, Joseph, Eric, Karen.
We're short one.
We're short one. She's currently visiting.
She knows she's short. You don't have to put it.
In her eyes, she's tall.
No.
She thinks she's the tallest person at all times. I'm tall. You're short. Like, you're the same size as me. Like, she thinks she's so tall. You're the same height as me,
We should
Madison.
bring John in then.
No, what we need to do is get like a doll or something, or like a little I don't know, something to put like a mannequin,
Yeah,
so we can still talk to it.
good.
She can call in.
And then when she comes in, just like pushes it off, like seamless. It's a seamless transition. You didn't even know I wasn't here.
You didn't even know I was here. Just like a little blink on the
walks
screen.
and just pushes it
A
over.
little blink on the screen, and then it's just her instead of the doll.
Yeah, we could go real low budget with it.
Yeah, right. See, we can make movies. It's not that hard.
Those are famous last words. I can make a movie with $10,000 and do better than your movie.
Yeah,
That's how we end up with movies like Troll 2,
Yeah.
Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Hey.
Or this one's classic. Hold my beer. All right, so I don't really have any news this week, other than Johnny Depp had his movie premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, and I guess it did really well. And I guess Brie Larson praised it, who's also an actress who's in the Avengers movies, all that. She's Miss Marvel, or Captain Marvel, sorry.
Yeah.
All the Marvels in there. And she's getting a little bit of backlash for supporting Johnny Depp in that manner, but who gives a shit? They're all actors, and they all got a lot more money than us. So, with that being said, let's move on.
What about, what's his face that was getting, those women were coming after him? That guy you like? Have you heard anything more about that?
Yeah, Jonathan Majors. So,
Yeah.
with that, a few things nothing's really came out of that yet, because I think they went to trial, and something about the trial, they haven't thrown it out, and it's still ongoing. There's still more evidence or something. So he went to court, or no, he appeared in court over a Zoom call, and something about, I don't know, more evidence, blah blah blah. I don't know what's the outcome. There's no outcome of it yet. So they probably gonna gather evidence and blah blah blah. That's just what I've heard about it so far. I haven't really looked too much into it. So
What about Bam?
Bam? I haven't heard shit about that.
Okay, just asking.
None
about,
of fucking thing.
Inquiring minds. And
Nah,
all. I'm sure
yeah,
it's-
right. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Bam or what's going on there, other than what I told you guys before about he's apparently suing his brother for defamation.
Yeah,
Because I guess you can do that. Bam would too. He's a fucking weirdo.
he's a crybaby.
He's what we call a jackass.
No, he's worse than that because they were all
It's
jackasses.
true, I guess. Anyway, so
They're just funny jackasses.
You didn't do the intro.
Oh, I didn't do the intro. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I was just kind of jumping into it. So make sure you check out our TikTok, our Twitter, our Facebook, and of course our YouTube.
Rumble.
Oh, and yes, and our Rumble. See, I need to write that on there so we stop forgetting. It'll just go up and right on the screen.
I didn't forget.
Go up and right on the screen like we did the other
Right.
shit.
Yeah, we can go back to old school ways.
Yeah.
Or just
Only
writing on the
it's
screen.
all black now, so we'd have to like use a white out marker.
On
So-
our old TV that we didn't care about, we just write.
Yeah, but
things
I care
on it.
about this one, so I don't
Yeah.
really want to write on this one.
No, I don't blame you.
But anyway, so check us out on Rumble and TikTok, Twitter, Facebook.
He's a purple marker.
We did get Madison on top of making more TikToks for us. So she is doing that, and you can enjoy some of that stuff there. I still think that the one with the Smurf cum is still the highest viewed one.
It is.
But it was fucking hysterical. I still laugh at it.
I do
I'm
too.
crying about it right now, thinking about it. I'm laughing on the
that
inside.
That whole spiel there was just,
It was good stuff, man. It was
Yeah.
the only time we ever used that background, too.
I know.
The
I
only
know.
time. And Eric hosted. He should feel special. You hosted like a special edition
I was
episode.
He
green.
did.
It was like, yeah, it was like a
he
special
was
edition.
green. He was.
Yeah, and you were green the whole time.
Like a Martian.
Yeah, it was like a special edition episode.
Talking.
So anyway, check us out there. Also, like, share, comment, subscribe, and please go over to our Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you can rate us, please rate us. That would be amazeballs, because we need more ratings, and we are trying to push this podcast as much as possible, because Well, we like to hear of people hearing us because we're full of ourselves. And that's why you do a podcast. I'm not. Come on. I said, hey, you interested? You're like, I'm fucking in.
Because of movies. I
Yeah.
really like movies.
Well, you like talking about movies.
I like talking
and you
about
like giving
movies.
people your opinions about movies, correct?
No, I like talking about movies. I like.
But you
hearing
like
other
giving
people-
your opinion?
I like hearing other people's opinion though.
I
too.
do too, but fuck
I
yours.
really
Yeah,
am looking
so
forward to this one.
Let us know
Yeah.
how you feel.
Yeah, let us know how you feel. You know,
Yeah.
rate us. Get on our Facebooks and our. Actually, I don't even care about Facebook. I know some of you guys do. But
I really want this podcast to blow up so that we can have interactions with our people.
that's what I'm.
looking forward
That's
to.
exactly what I'm looking for. I want to interact with the people that do listen.
Mhm.
That's the coolest thing for me is I want to interact with you guys.
Like we can do live shows and things like that. Like that would be cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So those of you that are listening and think, man, that would be pretty cool.
Like
You know.
push the show.
Yeah, we're not
That's,
gonna, we're not gonna do it for, a handful of listeners or whatever. Like we got to do it for a large quality or quantity.
Yeah.
So please, 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 rate us on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast, and then make sure you get on YouTube and like and share and subscribe, all that good stuff, and share the fuck out of us, because the more people that listen to us, maybe we get more people liking us. Who knows? We are kind of cute,
Please. You didn't do your fake smile. Your fake cheese. Yeah, there you go. That was better.
So, like I said, I don't really have any news this week, but we'll see what comes about. There wasn't a lot of news this week. It really wasn't.
I didn't hear much.
There wasn't a lot going on. Not that I can remember anyway. So, I can give you other bullshit news like, DVD release dates for this, and Blu-ray release dates.
And now our feature presentation.
Yeah, right.
That's
Like
what you
nobody.
sound like.
Yeah,
Those old VHS tapes. Like
coming
soon.
soon. Coming soon to VHS.
What the hell have you been watching?
Smurf jizz.
So,
Send to you.
oh boy, here we go. Hey, don't spit on my pictures, man.
I almost did.
Jesus Christ.
I
I'm
did
gonna
it the
spray
right
everything
time.
down. What's all that on the wall?
Trying to drink
Karen,
something here.
Smurf
Karen,
jizz
she's
is
a
on the
goddamn
wall.
slob. Anyway, moving on.
Lucky I didn't take a drink yet.
Eric, what'd
Maybe
you
cleaning it
Eric,
up.
what'd you watch this week, man?
So I watched the new Shazam movie. I liked it. It was okay.
I still haven't seen it. I haven't.
I
haven't
didn't
watched
watch
it.
much. I literally watched it because we went out to the Great Wolf. All
Lodge?
weekend. Yeah, we went to Great Wolf Lodge. The Great Wolf. We went to the Great Wolf.
The Great
How
Wolf.
was he?
Wet.
Wet and hairy. Wet and hairy, and he smelled like a dog.
I was gonna say, did he smell like
He
wet
smelled
dog?
like a fucking dog.
That's funny though too, because I ran into Sarah, LaDonna, Casey, and I ran into her cousin Kara. And yeah,
Noise.
Guess they were having a girls' weekend out.
yeah. And,
Oh yeah, yeah. That would be why.
yeah.
Probably,
Sarah,
yeah.
LaDonna, and Casey. Yeah, they were. Yeah. And
You don't know those people,
no.
but we do.
Yeah.
Just imagine in your heads what they might look like. That's the fun part. That's the best part about listening to podcasts. Is you listen to them for a long time, you're like, God damn, I wonder
Use
what
your
they look like.
imagination.
Like I listen to Straight Chillin', and you're like, man, wonder what they look like. And then you look, and I'm like, they don't look anything like I thought they would look like.
Yeah.
All right, take that back. Bob looked like what he would look like, but like Soju don't look nothing like I thought he would look like.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be like nerdy looking. No, he's in the military.
Yeah.
It's like okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And I watched Transformers: Age of Extinction. Just threw it in there.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's one of those things where I was just sitting down eating dinner. It's like watched it here and there. Didn't watch the whole movie. You know what I mean? That's literally all I've watched this week. So, on to you, Karen.
He's hosting.
Yeah, but you're the only one else here. So,
He might want to go first.
No, you're good. Go ahead, man. Ladies
Okay.
first. That's why Eric went first.
yeah.
Finished season 2 of True Detective. All the bad guys won.
Yeah, it was not. Well, I wouldn't say they all won. I guess they did win. In
Yeah,
a
they
sense.
all won. Vince Vaughn died. Colin Farrell died. The one chick and her had to go into hiding. Sucked.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Like, I could forgive the 7,000 storylines because they all came together in the end and made a cohesive
It was
storyline.
it was very American Horror Story in that sense.
Yeah, like I could forgive that because it works, and because it comes together. But like when they all died and there was no comeuppance for the rest of these bastards, that's no.
Didn't sit well.
No,
yeah.
it didn't sit well.
That's probably why the second
Sometimes-
season did so bad.
Well, yeah, and sometimes that works.
Yeah.
Sometimes those kind of endings work.
Especially to see such an arc for two characters like that, you know.
Mhm, yeah,
Only
yeah.
to kill them off.
Yeah, exactly. That I think that's why it didn't work, because these two characters went through hell and really came through.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, I hated it. I watched The Wailing. I'd never seen that before, and I kept hearing good things. It was actually really pretty good.
I've never seen it.
It's long. It's Korean, so
Yeah.
the ending was kind of confusing, so I had to look up what I thought had happened. I think a lot of it kind of gets missed in translation because of culture, not necessarily like the movie itself. It's like cultural. So I looked up a few things, and it was what I thought happened. I just needed clarification. So, but other than that, it was a really good movie. I watched I Just Killed My Dad, an episode of that.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't finished it. So.
True crime series or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we watched that one.
Yeah, I started. I don't remember if I watched 1 or 2 episodes.
I think it's only
there's
three
there's only 3
episodes,
episodes. So I started that. I watched a movie called Feed Me. It was supposed to be like a dark humor. Didn't care for it. I watched Anything for Jackson again because Jeremiah wanted to watch it, and he didn't care for it. He sucks. I watched Host.
Like the foreign one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I watched all 3 Birdemic movies because Jeremiah made me watch them.
Oh boy. You had a rough week then.
I did. Although 1 and 2 were pretty entertaining. Like in the first one, she's talking about icebergs, but she says sea ice.
Sea ice.
Sea ice. Like they forgot what icebergs were, and then they forgot that they could go back and edit it when they remembered what they were called.
Is that really what happened? Or is
I
it
have
just-
no idea. I'm just.
Like,
She
you
said,
feel like that's what it was?
I probably because she said sea ice, and I'm like, you mean icebergs? Because they're talking about them melting, and she's like, what? The sea ice is melting, and I'm like, icebergs.
Or the ice caps even.
sure,
Yeah.
hey, that would have worked as well.
Yeah.
So, and some guy calls
Sea
somebody
ice.
on.
It's like we're a big cup of water and somebody's just got sea ice in there.
yeah, somebody
Drink it
somebody
before
called-
it melts.
Somebody called somebody on an you remember those first gen like touchscreen iPods?
Oh yeah.
They called somebody on it like it was an iPhone.
What?
Uh,
Oh boy.
Part 2 was great, except the ending. There was no ending. It just stopped. Like it just like the birds flew away, but then it just kind of stopped. Like that was just the ending. Like we were supposed to understand why the birds flew away.
They just flew away.
They just flew away.
All right, we're done. Bye guys.
Yeah, the
See
third.
you in the next movie.
The third really sucked. It was bad. It was just bad. And then, so like, if I had to give it like a quick rundown, I would say Birdemic is like what Velociraptor was,
Velocipaster.
or Velocipaster, if Velocipaster had the VFX like in it.
Right.
Except you wish that Birdemic didn't have the VFX.
Because it would make it better.
It would make it better. Exactly. It would
I
be
gotcha.
funnier.
Okay.
And then I went back to the woman in the house across the street. You know, that whole
Yeah, that
deal.
whole thing. Yeah.
I think I'm like 3 away from finishing that. That's it. That's all I watched.
I watched the John Mulaney stand-up special that's on Netflix that just came out. I started it last week whenever you guys came over. I had started it. I think I was only like 20 minutes into it. And then I got like another 30 or 40 minutes out of it. And then I just finished it today while I was eating dinner. And it wasn't really that funny. Like John Mulaney's usually really, really funny. Like his stand-up is good. He's kind of quirky and goofy. And this one was all about his drug addiction. I hate it whenever people get sober. I mean, I don't hate it when they get sober, but
Yeah.
like I hate it when they get sober and like that's all they want to talk about. It's like, dude, you don't need to air your dirty laundry out to. I get it, people fall on hard times, blah blah blah, but The only thing he talked about during this entire stand-up, and I think the stand-up was like an hour and 20 minutes, was his cocaine addiction, what he did to get through his cocaine addiction, going to rehab, all these things, all the shitty things that he did while he was addicted to cocaine, and just all these things, and like, about like, it's almost like he stood up there and tooted his own horn for like an hour and a half. And I get it, you got over drugs, that's cool, but you're not my fucking son, dude. You are a goddamn stand-up comedian. Tell me comedy, not try to make a funny. Don't turn your shitty situation into a comedy joke. Like that doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. Like tell me a funny situation and turn that into a joke. You know what I mean? Like not a shitty situation and turn that into a joke. That's why I love fucking Bert Kreischer or whatever. Like he's funny because he fucking takes shitty like funny fucking situations and makes jokes out of them, like his families and all that stuff. Like, he makes that shit funny. I don't want to hear about your goddamn cocaine addiction. Just saying.
Well, it's not. He got over.
Well, he kicked it, yeah. But dude, you're married to Olivia Munn now. Like, just saying. You're doing pretty fucking good for yourself.
Maybe she's me.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure she's pretty awesome. She was on G4. She's a fucking nerd, and she's a hot one at that. So... just saying, you got it pretty made there, John Mulaney. Coming from a guy like 6'2", dorky looking guy from SNL, who was a writer, not even an actor on SNL. So just saying. I'm really dogging on him. He's actually not a bad dude. I really like John Mulaney. I shouldn't say those things. I do like John Mulaney. But anyway, it was all right. I didn't care for it. I said it was I'm all over the place. I'm emotional today. No, I'm not emotional. I kicked my cocaine habit. Fuck, I wish I had a cocaine habit.
Sometimes.
No, you don't. You'd be so poor.
I would be poor.
You'd be so poor.
I'd be selling all this shit off. Like, fuck you. Snorted off this fucking microphone, bitch. What's up? What is up?
I'm trying to figure out what that white powder was.
Yeah. Like, every time I talk into it, like, it blows off like dust. Like I'm over here like rubbing my teeth, like, yeah, baby, yeah.
Just flicking your mic randomly to get the dust.
Yeah, flicking it, like just snorting it, like, oh man, my mic would be fucked. You probably barely hear me.
Man, we wouldn't be able to hear your voice come through.
Right? Why does it sound muffled at the beginning of the show? But by the end of it, he's really hyper, and you can hear him clearly.
It's not caked anymore.
Nope. I also watched that new movie, Sisu, with. I don't know who the fuck's in it, honestly. It's about that Finnish dude who's a gold miner, and he's trying to go cash in his gold that he found, and he gets hunted down by a bunch of Nazis during the was it the Nazi? I don't know.
Nazi
Whatever
regime.
they're trying to push out the Nazis out of Finland and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's at the end of the world, at the end of the war, and he's like making his way to the bank to try to cash in all of his findings, and they track him down and hunt him and shit because they want his gold. And it's like what I imagine if John Wick was alive during World War II in Finland. It's kind of like that.
Any like action movie anymore is like John Wick. It's
that's
like,
because
that's the standard.
That is the standard now.
Yeah.
John Wick is amazing. That is the standard.
So last week, Renfield.
But this dude,
was John Wick.
This dude definitely takes like a lot more of a beating than John Wick ever did.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, and there's a lot. I mean, I'm not gonna say this is by any means a perfect movie or anything, but it was entertaining. But there were a lot of flaws in this movie that I'm like, how did he do that?
Is it played out like they're supposed to be there?
No.
The flaws? No.
Okay, so like there's this one part, right? There's this what do they call them? Row of cars or whatever. What do they call that?
Convoy?
Convoy. There's a convoy. There's a truck, and then a truck hauling these like slave women, and then there's a tank behind them. So he manages to get into this truck through the back of this truck to kill these two guys, hand all these women guns with a tank behind him. Apparently they didn't see him the whole time. Him climbing into this truck and killing these two guys, because they only show the shot of inside the truck while he does it.
Well, does it have like a tarp on the back of the truck?
There is a tarp,
where
but he like climbs into the truck from the back, where the guy driving the tank behind
Would
him
obviously
should obviously
see
see.
Unless he was doing one of these numbers.
He wasn't though. He was just
reading
driving
a
straight
magazine.
forward.
He was reading a magazine.
And then he like climbs on top
While
of this
driving.
truck and climbs to the front of the truck and all these things while
While
that
the
truck
tank
tank
is
is
still
still back
there.
there. So there's a lot of things in the movie. I'm like, they would totally see him in this
Yeah.
part. And then there's a lot of like liberties that they take with like how resilient this old dude is.
Yeah.
Like he's literally in a plane crash and he survives without a scratch. So I mean, like there's a lot of liberties here. Like he's a hardcore, but then again, they call him a legend, and like he's like this like dude who's like, you don't fuck with this guy. You know what I mean?
See, I think like with movies like that, if they had somebody telling the story, like at the beginning of the movie and at
That
the
is the
end,
coolest thing about this guy is he does not talk through the whole movie.
Yeah, I'm just saying like if they had somebody like telling the story, then you could say like it's the embellishment of someone telling the story. Because I've seen movies
That would be
do
cool
that.
too. Yeah.
Movies that do a lot of embellishing through the movie where you're going, how the hell? No, that doesn't make any. But then by the end, you're like, oh yeah,
They
somebody
just put
was
like a
telling
bunch
the
of
story.
legends
Well,
together for-
there is a guy that
Yeah.
starts out narrating the beginning, talking about like Finland and all that stuff. And I think that this guy is his own legend because it's done in chapters. There's 5 chapters. And one of the chapters is called The Legend. And it talks about like they start talking about him and like you don't fuck with this guy and blah blah blah. He's killed like I think they said he killed like 500 fucking Russian soldiers in like 100 days or something like that. So, and he's like, he's the guy that you drop off in the woods, in the wilderness to go kill somebody. He's a one-man squad. He's a one-man army. He goes in and kills and gets out. And I think that's, like I said, it's like some kind of legend, but it's a good movie. I'm definitely going to say watch it because it's entertaining, if nothing less.
Okay.
I mean, like, it is very entertaining. It's violent. And if you want to watch some fucking Nazis get fucked up by an old John Wick,
That's always a good time.
yeah, it's a good time. So I love watching Nazis die. You don't feel any remorse for a Nazi.
No.
None. Like, I don't know what it is, but like you watch a Nazi die, you're like, yes. Like, you
Bye bye.
like watching, like, okay, so you watch Die Hard and you watch what's his face get dropped off of the
Nakatomi Plaza.
off of the plaza or whatever.
Gruber.
You almost feel kind of bad for rooting for his death because he's not a Nazi. Like you almost feel bad for him. But like Nazis, you don't give a fuck, dude. They're fucking shitty people.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all I watched this week.
Okay.
I didn't watch much. Oh yeah, I'm hosting. I forgot. Anywho,
Let's talk about the movie.
this week we are talking about Evil Dead Rise. The movie just came out. Did you pull? Oh, okay. I already had it pulled up, so I was wondering. I am going to read you this fairly short but short plot synopsis.
Can you make up your mind this week at all
No,
on
I can't.
anything?
I can't.
No.
Okay,
Gotta
so
make it interesting, Karen.
Apparently.
okay, so Evil Dead Rise is rated R. It was made 2023. It comes in at an hour and 36 minutes, and it is horror, science fiction, fantasy, mystery, and thriller. Stars Lily Sullivan, Alyssa Sutherland, Morgan Davies, Gabriel Eccles, Nell Fisher, Anna Marie Thomas, and a bunch of other people. So, movie is as such a twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish versions of family imaginable. So, Eric, would you watch and would you recommend?
I would definitely recommend. I would definitely watch again.
Okay. Karen, would you watch and recommend?
I would not watch again.
You wouldn't watch it again? Would you recommend people watch it?
Yeah, if you're a fan of the series and you are interested in where it's going, and yeah, you should watch it.
I think for me, I watched it twice for this review, and I think that's enough for me for a really long time. also, I would recommend that people check it out because, like she said, if you're a fan of the Evil Dead series, I mean, this isn't. I mean, I wouldn't say
I'm
this
getting
is
a
definitely.
phone call.
I wouldn't be able to watch again like right away though.
Hold on a minute. Alec is calling us. Everybody, we're gonna put him on speakerphone. We'll get his recommendation.
Hello.
Hello?
You're on the show, buddy.
I'm so nervous. I've never talked to famous people before. How do you do this? First time caller, long time listener, number one fan. How you guys doing?
I'm just imagining you like with braces and like
Yeah, like-
you know that Ace
He's
Ventura-
definitely driving in his car. Like,
you know, that
I
Ace-
listen to you guys on the radio all the time.
What's that Jim Carrey skit where he's looking
no,
like
that,
real
no, I'm thinking
nerdy?
of like an Ace Ventura skit where he's like trying to get Dan Marino's
yeah, that's what
Oh,
I'm talking
yeah.
about.
autograph,
yeah.
and he's like, he's got the
pimple on
pennant.
the
Yeah.
nose.
What's funny is I actually am driving in my car. We just picked up ice cream.
What flavor? What flavor did you get?
It don't matter. It's for his butt.
I got a banana split. Jace got a caramel sundae with brownie on it.
Good
Jacqueline
choice.
got a strawberry sundae, and Stephanie got a caramel.
All good choices.
Yeah.
So Alec, did you watch Evil Dead Rise?
No, I did not. We had a very sick boy over the weekend, so I had to tend to him, unfortunately.
I'm supposed to hang up on you, but I can't because
Yeah, that wouldn't be very
I
nice.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I still love you guys anyways. You guys kick ass. You know, keep doing you. And I give you permission to hang up on me now if you would.
Well, make sure you watch Evil Dead Rise so you can listen to this review.
Oh, no, I'm going to, definitely. Just going to do it this weekend. Yeah, I don't know if Karen told you that his temp got up to like 103.3 Saturday night, Sunday morning, so it was pretty rough all weekend with him. So we really
Yeah, that
didn't get a
sucks. I
chance
don't-
to sit down and watch anything.
That's never fun.
No.
Dealing with that is
Nope.
not a good time.
Nope.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna get back to it.
All right, you guys have a good show. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love
We'll
you,
talk to
man.
you later.
Later.
Have a good one.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
First time.
I was
calling.
yeah,
Long
first
time
time,
listener.
yeah, first time.
Alec, that was great. That was,
Yeah,
that was
that
wonderful.
was-
Hear me when
classic.
he's like getting ice cream. I was like, you asked what flavor.
Yeah, I heard.
It doesn't matter. It's for his butt.
It's for my
he
butt.
says banana split. That made it even better.
I don't think he heard you though.
Oh boy. All right. So
He'll hear this.
I was really hoping because he called that a really good time. I was like, I'm really hoping that he watched it so he could say whether or not he'd recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's all right.
all right. So the way we're gonna do this and the way we did it last week is I'm gonna read through and remember heavy spoiler alert here. Like
Yeah.
we're going through like the nooks and crannies of this movie. We're gonna talk about everything
So if you
from
haven't
beginning to end.
watched
So if
it-
you have not watched this movie, go watch it, then come back to us because I'm gonna spoil the shit out of this movie.
Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead. Heavy spoilers.
you've been warned.
Yeah, heavy spoilers.
I warned you.
I warned you.
That was me. It was Reddit.
All right, so anyway, so the movie starts out, it opens with a classic surge through the woods, like the old Sam Raimi style classic surge, like with the demon flying through chasing people, only this time it's a fucking drone.
Yeah.
Which was cool, but then it was a drone, which wasn't cool.
Yeah.
I took it as kind of an updated way of doing
yeah,
it, but at the
I didn't
same
like
time,
that
it's kind of
because I thought I was like,
shitting
"Ooh,
on
they're doing the surge thing," and then I was like,
Yeah.
and then it's a drone. Like that kind of irritated me a little bit. I didn't like that. So from there, she gets scared by it. The boyfriend walks out, not her boyfriend, but her cousin's boyfriend, walks out
dickhead.
to the dock and says, and she says, "Don't should they get?" Obviously, they don't like each other because he comes out and she's like. And shouldn't you be like checking on whatever her name is? I can't remember her name. I think it's Jessica.
Jessica.
Yeah. So, and he's like, "Oh, I gave her like a Klonopin or something like that,
yeah.
and to help her sleep off whatever was wrong with her, which we all know what's wrong with her."
Cold?
She got a small case of the crazies.
She got a cold. Probably.
Yeah, probably a cold body at that point. It's like,
yeah.
okay, so explains the drug habit. Then she makes her way into the. So from there, she gets up because she's annoyed. She goes inside the cabin to check on Jessica. Explains that if she doesn't get up and get her out of there soon. She's gonna fucking drown her meat puppet of a boyfriend, whatever. So from there, she starts acting a little weird. Jessica sits up in the bed as she's reading a book and starts to recite lines out of the book that she's reading, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was.
I thought that was.
I was like, "Run, bitch!"
Yeah,
run.
I was like, "That's
I'm
like it was a
thinking,
little freaky."
What more does it take for you to get out of that chair and not be in that cabin?
Right?
Started,
Yeah,
like,
like I'd have been
mumbling.
like, "Have you read this before?"
Yeah, she started mumbling those fucking words. I'm like,
You got
"No,
the same book
I'm
over
out."
there? Are you on the same page?
Are you on the
Like,
same page? Like, I don't know. Do you have a Kindle?
Are we reading this
Yeah,
together?
right.
Then I didn't.
I didn't
know.
realize I was reading out loud. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
So then from there she gets up and she's like Jessica, and then she like falls off the bed.
And then she keeps poking at her like Jessica.
Yeah, Jessica.
It reminded me so much of like that scene in Scary Movie where she's like, touching that girl. And she's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And her head falls off, and she's like, "Are you okay?
Are you okay? Are you
That's
okay?"
what it reminded me.
Yeah,
of.
and then so then she spits up some she vomits up some white.
milky looking.
I wouldn't even say it
I
looks
would
like
say it was
milk.
cum.
It was cum.
It was cum. I'm
I
sorry.
didn't even think about it.
That's
It was
what
totally
that
cum.
was.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like a whole lot of cum.
Well, maybe that's there's the whole rape thing, and that's usually how they get it.
That is
So-
true. I mean, it could be an innuendo.
Maybe it
of
was in
some
her
kind.
mouth.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that dude was in there ravaging that body before he came out there with his drone. Who knows? That's fucked up. We
That's a
shouldn't think
lot
that
of
way.
cum.
But anyway, so from there, she like opens her eyes and like essentially we're gonna skip right to it. She grabs her by the fucking hair and like
scalps
rips
her.
scalps her, like just rips it off like it's a piece of fucking tape or
Velcro
something.
or some shit.
Yeah, she's like shh, and like ah.
Yeah,
So that's
that
your
was-
first
that
bit of
was
gore.
gruesome.
That was
Yeah,
kinda-
pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
So from there, she stumbles out to the girl who got her thing ripped off. Stumbles out to
Which
The
you
doc.
don't
The
notice
doc.
it's her at first because she's
it's
like,
doing one of them
the
like
her
first person
vision,
things. Yeah,
And you don't,
and he's
So
pissing
you
off
think
the
it
deck.
might be Jessica the Deadite
Yeah.
coming out or whatever?
Yeah, so he's pissing off the deck. She comes out there. He freaks out.
who wouldn't freak out?
Yeah,
Somebody
right.
comes out
Her
there,
half her
scalped
head's
head.
missing. So and then Jessica wanders out there and grabs the drone and for some reason hits herself in the face with it. I don't know why. And then it throws her into the water for whatever
Somehow.
reason.
She, like,
And then
falls
he
in the
dives in
water.
for her, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Then he comes up and then he goes back under Red. Obviously he's getting killed under there.
His head gets thrown up. On
Yeah,
the
his
deck.
head gets thrown up on the deck. Then she rises up to one of the probably the coolest title
I wrote
cards
down
I've
that
ever
the title
seen.
card was badass.
The title card was pretty cool.
I
I'll give
will-
it that. Like
yeah.
the way she rose up out of the water and the Evil Dead rise comes up like
and
in
it's mirrored in the water.
Yeah, it's mirrored in the water and like behind the background setting, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
So that was pretty sweet. I'll give it that. And then it cuts to one day earlier, and it shows. So it goes the one day earlier at a concert with our main character here, her name's Bev, right? Is it Bev?
I think so, Bev.
B
I
E
thought it was
V.
Beth.
Is it Beth or Bev?
I thought it was.
Let me
Beth.
check because I kept writing down Bev because I thought that's what they were saying. Let's see here.
I could be wrong though, but I really thought it was Beth.
It is Beth. You're correct. It is Beth. I thought it was Bev. I thought the whole time they were saying Bev. Okay, so Beth, because that's what I kept writing down was Bev. So it cuts to Beth.
Beth.
B.
Beth.
Cuts to
Beth.
TH Beth. Cuts to Beth at a concert. She's like in the bathroom taking like a pregnancy test, I guess.
Because that's where you take one.
That's exactly where you take one. You wouldn't wait till you got home from work to do this.
Or before you went to work.
Yeah, she went and took the pregnancy test. Then it cuts to a guy outside the door. He's knocking on the door like, "Hey, where's so-and-so's guitar?" Blah, blah, blah. She's apparently a guitar technician. So she goes on tour with whatever band she's on tour with. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess, but what band do you think she's on tour with?
Yeah, not very high ranking.
Obviously, but I mean, like, just try to give, like, just the way she dresses and all those things.
Give
like
a band name.
give like a band name that you think she might be on tour with. It's definitely not like a Metallica type band.
We were just talking about Raising Hope, so immediately, what popped into my head? Jaquar Noir. Remember, he changes his name to that when he goes through his goth phase.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say a stupid fucking band like Pierce, like I don't know, like
Pierce Naval.
no, like like an actual band. What's that one band that's really gay? It's not Pierce the Veil. It's the other one. That one's not gay. Pierce the Veil is pretty cool. I can't remember.
The only one I know is
Or like him,
oh,
like that
him.
band. Like she's on a
Okay.
tour with a band like that, like him. Him's gay. Him is gay.
What about Five Finger Death?
I could see her being on.
Popsicle or
I
whatever.
could be Five Finger Death Punch. I can see her being on a tour with a band like that too. I guess.
I mean, they're okay. I
No,
don't care for
Some
it.
of
Okay,
them- some
thank
of their
you.
music
I
is
was
not
I was
okay.
trying to be
They're
nice.
not okay.
I don't like them either.
No, they're a fucking cover band.
I'm not a fan.
Anyway, so from there it cuts to their apartment complex, like this high rise apartment building. And she gets out, walks up to the building, blah blah blah. I gotta read my notes because I will skip the fuck ahead. Like I will.
yeah,
So it cuts to the apartment
it's
building.
easy to do
Yeah, it is.
because your mind is like thinking of all the things you want to talk
Yeah,
about.
right, exactly. Cuts to the apartment building. She comes to sister and the kids at the apartment. So, okay, the sister's name is Ellie, or Elle. She calls her that both. And then I don't know the kids' names except for Dan or Danny. Oh, and Cassie. I know
Bridget
Cassie.
and Cassie.
Oh, Bridget. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Did you notice her sister is actually the Queen Oslug from
Yeah,
Vikings?
from Vikings. Yeah, I know. So it cuts to her. It looks like she's maybe a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
She's got a bunch of tattoos. She's like putting together a tattoo machine, all these things. I assume she does tattoos. I guess that's her job. Her son, I guess it's her son, Danny.
The DJ.
He looked like a combination of Bieber and Elliot Page.
A little bit, yeah. So that character is played by a biological female.
Yeah,
So
I found that out because Jeremiah kept bitching about that person. And because
I
he
don't
was
know
like,
if-
that is definitely a girl. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's a boy.
Yeah, it's a girl.
And
I was
he
definitely
went.
trying
I looked it up,
to-
and
I
it's
was
he,
sure
he
trying
did.
to
Yeah,
figure
it's
that out
Morgan
myself.
something or another.
yeah. He looked
and
it up, and he's like, I was right. And I was like, well, we were both right technically.
I don't know if she's going through a transition or I don't know what that actresses like what they're I couldn't tell you. I
How
don't know.
progressive of you.
Yeah, very progressive. Good for you. Nobody fucking cares. Anyway, so don't get me wrong, I like the character. The character was cool.
Those kids went in this order for me: Cassie, Danny, then Bridget. As far as likability.
I agree. Yes, I agree. We'll get to that because there's a couple things
I'm
that
just
Cassie
saying,
did
you know,
that I thought was pretty awesome.
Danny was pretty okay. as
yeah,
far
Danny
as the
was pretty
kids
cool.
went.
Like, yeah,
Bridget sucked just in general.
Bridget was a very much a fucking like she was like just a hole in the wall. You know what I mean? Like she was just boring and
Yeah,
no
and
personality there
and
until
what she
well,
did
we'll
have
get there.
sucked.
We'll get there. We'll get
yeah,
there.
yeah, we'll get there.
Okay, so anyway, so we cut to that.
She
You
had
can
the
tell
most sense, though. Like, put the fucking book back.
Yeah, that's true.
she did
That is
have the
true.
most sense. Like
Yeah.
we shouldn't be fucking with
Yeah.
this.
But usually sticks in the mud do.
Yeah, that's true. And then they're always the first to die. All right. So anyway, so okay. So then, as they're there, there's the boys, the neighbor boys, come and knocking at the door, asking Bridget if she wants to come over and watch all of the Freddy movies. Like they're having a Freddy-thon, which is a cool callback.
I did like the reference to.
I like the
number 2.
reference. Yeah, no. It wasn't a reference to. They're like, but we're not watching the crappy ones. There are no crappy ones. Like there totally is, dude.
Yeah, no. When
She
he
was
said,
like a pile of dog shit.
oh
Like,
yeah, that's exactly.
I was
what
like,
I'm saying.
Karen's gonna love this reference.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
she's
When he
gonna
was like,
argue
there
this.
are no bad ones, and I was sitting there, and Jeremiah looked at me. I was like, but there's 2. And he was like, there isn't any bad ones. 2's the best. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like,
So she slammed like this kid's got like Cheeto face. Like he's got Cheeto dust all over his face, and like he's just eating a bag of Cheetos, and he's just going to town on these Cheetos while he talks to this. Like that is how you expect to impress a girl with fucking Cheetos in your hand, and you're just stuffing your mouth with these fucking Cheetos. I didn't get it, but okay, whatever.
I mean, to each their own. You
Yeah,
don't know.
right. Okay, so oh, Cheetos. Man, that's some stinky fuck. That's the stinkiest snack, man. I hate powdered fucking cheese, man. It's so gross. I hate powdered cheese.
You know, like
All right.
cheese popcorn.
I hate cheese popcorn. I hate it, dude. All right, so the boys asked about watching Freddy. So you find out here, okay, so the sister shows up, she knocks at the door, scares the fuck out of her, and then says something funnier and shit to me. She goes, you look stressed out like mom. She goes, well, it's better than looking like a tampon. Because she did with the
Dyed
her
hair.
hair in the thing, and it's like she does look like a tampon.
It wouldn't have been so bad with her hair if she wasn't so white. Like
She's very pale.
Like if she had a little bit of a tan,
yeah, she
that
looked
red
like
hair, she would've
she
looked
looked like the
fine.
type of mom that you would see in an apartment building like this.
smoking 80 cigarettes. Like she looked.
Yeah,
like
she
I
looks like
mean,
somebody just smoking cigarettes. Like you're thinking in your head like she could be hot if she did something with herself. You know,
I would think she'd look more at home. The way she looked, she would look more at home in a trailer park. Honestly,
yeah, kind of, yeah, because she's
all gaunt.
like she's so skinny. But like
And-
she's like she's like one of them ladies that you're like she could be so pretty if she just put on just a little bit of weight and like
went out and saw the sun. From
yeah,
time
went
to
out and saw the
time.
sun a little bit, but but I think that maybe that's what they were trying to go
They
for.
were, and she was a good mom. At the
Yeah,
beginning.
that's the thing,
She
is, like,
she was
she
a
loved her
very
kids.
good mom. Yeah.
So she scares the shit out of her. She comes in, and they're obviously there's a little bit of banter there between the two sisters, who is Elle and Beth. Okay, so let's see here, you find out here that the building is getting demolished in a month, and they have to find a new place to live, because and it also used to be an old bank.
Yep.
Used to be an old bank. So they get on the subject while they're sitting there talking to Beth and blah 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 about how the place used to be a bank, and then about how Elle's husband, she brings up Elle's husband or boyfriend or whatever, the kids' dad, and then she quickly changes the subject and asks the kids to go get pizza, take the kids, go get pizza. And then this is where that conversation happens between the two of them. And then they kind of get into a little bit of an argument, but it seems like it becomes okay because that's their sisters, blah, blah, blah. And she explains how she tried calling her to talk to her about it, but she's always so busy with her life and blah, blah, blah. Typical bullshit, typical drama. So from there, you cut to the kids down in the parking garage where they're pulling in, and they're walking in with their pizzas, and an earthquake happens, which shakes the fuck out of the building, splits a big crack in the middle of the parking garage, and opens up a hole in the parking garage. This is where Dan or Danny, I don't know what you want to call him, her.
I've heard both in the movie.
Danny, I did too. So we're just going to call her Danny because we don't know if it's a boy or a girl. They never explain.
I'm assuming that boy because
But they never say, though.
well, but she's old enough to drive. He's old enough to drive, and there's no breasts or anything present.
Right, but
So I'm assuming that they were going for.
But I've heard
boy.
girls be called Danny before too. Maybe she was a they them type deal for the
Maybe.
movie.
Maybe. I mean, and we can go with that. That's fine. I'm
Just never was
I'm assuming
explained.
that they were going with boy just because of the way that
They never explain whether
Yeah.
like any pronouns or anything like that.
Yeah.
So Danny sees the hole in the floor and says, "Hey, I'm going to go check it out. It's an old bank vault down here." And of course, you see a dark hole in the ground, and of course you'd go check it out because that's what any logical person would do.
And this is where my problems with the movie really began.
Well, I mean, as a kid, you're going to be curious.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'd go down there too, but
I would totally check it out.
Yeah,
I would totally
I
check it out.
saw a bunch of this is like I put this down. Once I saw a bunch of religious things over a coffin. Fuck that! I'm out.
See,
I'm
no,
out.
and
okay,
that's,
so
that's
this
where
is
my question
This is my thing. Hold on. This is my thing with this. If there was just an earthquake and there's a hole in the floor, I'm not going in that hole until I know that there's no aftershock.
Yeah.
No, nothing like that. Nothing is unstable. Give it a day, even. Give it
Sure.
one
Yeah.
day, and then wait. You know what I mean? Because if anything is coming down,
It'll
let
be
it come
within
down.
the next hour or so.
Yeah, like give it time and then go down. Don't go down right after the earthquake, like
Yeah.
you dipshit.
Yeah.
So
My problem started right away when he goes down there, and it's a bank vault, right? Like they explained that this
Right.
building used to be a bank.
okay,
And
hold on.
that's
I
a
want
bank
to
vault.
let me
Yeah.
explain this first.
Go
Okay, so
nuts.
he goes down in the hole, sees a bank vault. Then he starts searching around. Hold on, let me see here. Says goes down because there's an old bank vault, finds an old tomb, and things of that nature. Like it's very religious. There's a lot of religious things down in this bank. Finds obviously what we would know now as the Necronomicon inside of a tomb that has a bunch of religious symbols above it hanging down from the ceiling in this old tomb. So he opens up it's wrapped in like this towel or something like that. He opens it up and a bunch of like moths or something fly out of it and blah, 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 this and that. And then out of nowhere, a jump scare of like an old Jesus on the cross, comes down and scares him, and he comes back up. Okay, so now you can talk like what's the issue?
Why is there a tomb in a vault in a bank?
I didn't understand that either.
The whole origin of where he gets the Necronomicon makes no sense.
Right, it's like supposed to be an old bank, but there's a tomb in it.
Yeah, and okay, so like I could even understand, like I would understand.
And
it
why
better.
was the book in a tomb?
The only thing,
Like I can understand if like it was in the vault. You saw the vault, right? And some rich guy decided, I'm going to put it in a vault. I'm going to rent the whole vault because I'm rich and I can put it in a vault and nobody will ever get it. That I understand. Even if he put all those crosses and stuff in the vault with it, that I understand. But where did the tomb come from? Where did you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying,
it's just
yeah.
out there in the open, even though there's a vault right here that he could have put it in.
Right.
they were already in the vault.
No, they weren't.
Yeah,
He
but
never
I
opened
get
it.
what she's saying though. Like, why would you put it in a tomb, not in a vault? Put it in the fucking vault. Lock
Yeah.
it up for good.
So here's where I'm confused by it too. Well, not really confused, but
You're saying the vault was probably already open.
well, no, where the hole was, the
Yeah.
hole was in the vault. Like,
Oh,
it
I see what
opened
you're saying.
into the
No,
vault.
you could see the door,
You saw
and you
the
could.
back of the door.
No, you didn't see the back of the door. You could see the little turn thing, and that turn
Now
thing is
hold
not
on.
on the
Now
inside.
he might be onto something there.
I
He
don't
might be
remember seeing
right.
The turn thing.
I don't remember seeing the
door,
turn
but I
thing
don't remember-
unless the turn
I
thing was
do.
on the inside of the door. I'm thinking he's right. I'm thinking that was the inside
because
of the
you're
vault.
already seeing
Because you saw all the
Maybe.
shelving and
lock
stuff like
boxes and all
that.
that stuff there.
Yeah, he said it's an old bank vault. So
So-
he might have been
So,
down
I'm
He
in
going
went
with
into
it.
the inside of the
yeah,
vault. Is what
but
you're
still
saying.
though,
Yes.
why the fuck is the tomb in the bank
See, this
vault?
is where I'm getting at. Maybe the priest.
No, that actually does kind of make sense, but still.
But hold on. The reason why I'm getting to that is, I think what happens right before that bank closed, or right when it was closing, that priest or whoever the religious person put all that stuff in there and then locked it up.
Yeah, I mean that would
And
make
then
sense.
that
Thinking
building
that
got
was
built up
gonna.
around it
Yeah, thinking that it would be safe there.
for good.
But I guess if you know or think that religious artifacts are going to keep it safer or whatever, why not take it to a church? I don't know.
Somewhere safer where it
I
can
get,
be.
You
They
know what I
thought
mean?
maybe-
Or like take it to like a sanction.
Don't leave it
sanction
just.
of people
Don't leave
that
it
you
where
know-
it can be just demoed and anybody can
Yeah,
find
because like
it.
I guess to me it's like those things are always going to come unearthed
Right.
somehow,
At some
right?
point,
At some
So
point,
take
yeah.
it to a sanction of people that you know what will be safe with. You know, like people you know are going to be around forever. Fucking monks, right?
Take it
go
to the
drop
fucking
off at a-
Vatican, dude.
Yeah,
Take it to the Vatican.
The
like,
Vatican is the
yeah.
safest place in the fucking world.
Yeah,
Take
nobody's
it
gonna
there.
fuck
I mean,
with it there.
But anyway, okay, so that does make more sense. That if they fell inside of the vault, that makes more sense.
That's where I was getting.
That's what I think. I
Yeah.
think he might be right about that.
he might be.
So okay, so he finds the old tomb, gets blah blah blah. Okay, so Ellie is worried about the kids, enlists a friend, the neighbor, to help. He gets his car keys, and as they're getting ready to leave, they come through the elevator. She bitches at him about taking the elevator after an earthquake, this and that. Dan tries to open the book. At this point, so we get back into the apartment, and Danny tries to open the book. And the way it's closed is looks like teeth on the outer part of the book.
I don't remember
So-
that being in the old ones.
It's
either.
not. That's.
It's not.
Yeah,
it never
go
had
on.
teeth before.
I have gripes about that too.
I don't really like it.
It's like
It's
looking
cool,
like
but it's
Harry
not
Potter
cool.
kind of.
I
style.
said before we knew why, but I said, you know, why did the Necronomicon change? Admittedly, the teeth were cool, but what was wrong with the old one?
We all know what the Necronomicon
But
looked
you
like.
find out later that there's this one.
This is only one of
three.
three. Yeah, this is one of three books. You find
But
out
this is
it
the
on
first
record.
time hearing about it, and we're how
Yeah.
many movies deep?
Well,
into this.
now hold
Always
on a minute.
under
Now
the
hold on,
understanding
because
there's only one Necronomicon.
hold on now, because
Well, it's the Book
this
of the
is
Dead,
supposed to
not
be a
the
reboot.
Books of the Dead.
This is supposed to be a reboot of sorts. So I can understand there being one in the first Evil Dead, like in the Evil Dead remake, and this being the second for Evil Dead Rise. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
But when you're listening,
But
to
they even like they call it the Book of the Dead. They don't say the books
when you hear
of
like,
the Dead, even though they
playing of
say
the
there's one
record,
of three.
like all the originals, he says the Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the originals, but like I said, this,
No,
these
he
are-
says it.
even
He says it on the
even in
record
the-
in this
yeah.
one too.
oh,
It's the same loop play.
maybe there's
from
still
even-
just three of them. And
You
they
know
just-
whose voice it was. We'll talk about that, I'm
Yeah.
sure. But when
so,
his voice comes through, it's the Book of the Dead, not
Yeah.
the books.
Right. So anyway, so he tries to open it, cuts his finger, and drips blood on it, which
opens
entails.
it up.
I guess it's got to be a blood sacrifice to open the book.
Sure,
I suppose.
of course
So,
it is.
Makes sense. It's usually what happens.
Yep.
Okay, so the blood opens the book. Dan plays the first record of 3. There are 3 records. The first one explaining, essentially, it's a priest. Apparently, there are 3 priests.
The main priest is trying to entice all the other priests to work with him to
use the book in some way or
Yeah.
something like that. I can't remember the reasoning.
Translate it.
and
to
everyone
translate
is
it,
saying
yeah.
it's an abomination.
It's an abomination, which I would agree with him. You
Yeah,
know?
100%.
Don't
sorry,
fuck with
but
that book.
As soon as he would have said Book of the Dead, I'd have fucking thrown those
Yeah,
records
so-
out. Like, I'm done.
Okay, so he plays the first one, then and then he goes on to play the second one, which says the ritual, and
But wait, we didn't talk about whose voice was on the first one.
who was it?
Ash. You didn't hear Ash's
It was Bruce
voice?
Campbell.
Yes.
That was Bruce Campbell.
Yes, it was his voice that said, "Don't open the book. It's the Book of the Dead."
In the record.
In the first record.
It was really.
It was.
I don't remember him saying that. I don't remember. I don't remember.
No,
catching
he's
them
he's
saying,
talking
"Don't
about-
open the book."
But
No.
it's literally Ash though.
He's just talking, but it's not Ash.
No,
It's-
it is. It
I-
is. That director confirmed it. It's Ash in the past. Like, you know how one of the things in Army of Darkness was like, you know, he might have got sucked into the past, and it's one of those alternative.
I don't remember hearing. I don't remember
It's
hearing.
actually.
I didn't know that.
It's actually. It's actually Ash.
I don't remember hearing a voice in there saying, "Don't open the book."
Yes, I don't remember exactly what it says. I don't
I
remember
remember
every
hearing
single
Book of the
syllable, but
Dead.
basically it's Ash saying,
Right.
saying that
Ash, baby. Ash.
You guys didn't even get my reference. Remember in Army of Darkness when he's like, you didn't say all of the words, and he's like, maybe I didn't say every single syllable, but basically,
Oh
I said
yeah,
them.
but basically, yeah, I said him.
Anyway, so yeah,
That was an Army of Darkness reference.
yeah,
Yeah.
But basically, he says,
Oh yeah, I'm wearing my
something-
Army of Darkness shirt. You can't really see.
I'm
it
not
that
wearing
well.
an Army of Darkness shirt, but I'm basically wearing
I'm
an
wearing
Army
it.
of Darkness shirt. It's the last drive-in with Joe Bob, but he's doing the same
Same thing. Yeah. Well, not.
I'm wearing a
Yeah,
Lucky
pretty
shirt.
much. Yeah.
But yeah, it's Ash, and he says something about, you know, don't open it. It's the Book of the Dead.
I didn't know
I
that it
didn't-
was
I
Bruce
didn't-
Campbell.
yeah.
You think all people I would know his voice.
I
best.
totally was waiting for you to bring it up.
No, I didn't know
No,
that.
I didn't catch
I didn't
it.
look up any trivia on this. I figured.
No,
you'd
I didn't
one.
have to look that one up.
Oh, you just knew.
I looked up, is it actually Ash or is it just Bruce Campbell's voice?
Oh, okay.
But
I didn't catch that. I watched it twice and didn't even catch that.
yeah,
so.
it's him.
Oh, cool. That's actually
Which-
pretty cool. That made that scene a little bit better for me.
You're welcome.
Okay, so from there, okay, so Elle, the mom, ends up. She's going to do laundry. She thinks about taking the stairs, the stairs, but instead decides to take the elevator after she just told the kids not to. So she gets on the elevator and he's playing. Danny's playing that record, and this is where we get the actual true demon Sam Raimi first person pan through the streets into the apartment building and then into their mom. This scene right here on the elevator
That was gruesome.
is pretty brutal.
Fuck.
It gets pretty brutal. So it knocks her against the wall. She gets up. It smacks her around a little bit.
Can you imagine how terrifying that would be?
Oh, it'd be fucking
Breaks her
terrible.
arm.
Yeah, it'd be terrible.
You're all alone
In an
this-
elevator.
This
Yeah.
unseen force. Is
And
just
the
kicking
worst part
shit
is you
out
can
of
hear
you.
it breathing.
Uh-huh.
You can hear it breathing.
Talking to her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets smacked around a little bit, and then it wraps like a wire around her neck and hangs her, and then like all these other wires come out, and it does the same scene as you would have seen in like Evil Dead, the Evil Dead remake, and it wraps her up. Only in this one, she doesn't get raped by a tree.
It's more like a simulation of that.
Yeah, and
Just
wraps
to,
her up
you know,
and essentially contorts her body and essentially kills her.
yeah.
Breaks her arm. That was
So from
pretty
there,
bad.
it cuts back to.
And I've never felt bad for somebody that's getting turned into a deadite before.
I felt bad.
Like
for her.
you know what I mean? Like you're always watching these movies and you're just like,
I felt
so they're a
bad for-
deadite, big whoop.
Right.
But like
All
in
of
this
them.
one, no, like I don't know. I think it's because she's a mom and you see her as a mom, you see her taking care of her kids, and you see her.
You already feel bad for her because she's doing it alone. She's taking care of her
Yeah, like
kids. Her old man left
I think
her.
it's the first time you've seen somebody as a human
yeah,
for a
that-
long time,
and
or for a period
yeah.
of time before they became a deadite.
and you feel
So-
bad for him for
Yeah,
that.
so then
know?
you see her turn into a deadite. I kept thinking like they're gonna get her out of this.
Well,
right?
they kind of did the same
You
thing.
know?
Hopefully, you were
They
hoping.
kind of did the same thing in the remake with the
Yeah, but
main
they got her
character.
out of that.
They did. That's the
why
thing.
I kept thinking like, are they?
Because
Because
you felt bad for her
because
because you're like, why does she have to be a Deadite? She's the one going through all this shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
But exactly. I felt that way for her too, but they got her out of it. So in this case, I was like, are they going to get her out of it? Are they going to save her? Because I really hope they do. But we'll talk about that.
yeah, we'll get there. So anyway, so they go back to the apartment and Beth is giving the little girl Cassie, she's giving her a bath. The other kids are doing whatever they're doing. And their mom comes walking in kind of like, sluggish and blah, blah, blah. And I forgot to mention earlier that they had another neighbor, an older guy who smokes like a fucking train. And he's an older dude. I don't know. I think he does tree trimming.
Kind of gave me
I guess.
rapey feels.
A little bit. But then you kind of realize he's just like that old guy, that
Yeah.
grumpy old guy neighbor kind of.
Hey, you could stay off my lawn if I had one.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
he's very, you can tell he's very conservative.
Because they're making too much noise in this
Making too
hallway.
much noise. Let me go get my gun.
Yeah.
So,
Boomstick.
yeah, the boomstick. So she comes in, and they're like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Also here the power cuts out. After she's taken over, the power completely goes out. They're like, "Oh, our building's the only one." So she comes in and automatically walks into the kitchen, and they're like, "Mom, are you okay?"
Like
Mom.
cooking raw eggs and
Yeah, she's like throwing
She's
eggs.
making
and-
breakfast.
She's throwing eggs, and she says something really creepy.
Oh
She's
yeah,
like,
I
had
had
a-
the strangest dream.
Yeah, of like,
we were on the beach,
Yeah.
and I
took
thought
over your
I wanted
bodies
to split all your bodies in two. So
no,
that
I
I'd
wanted to
never
cut.
lose you
I
or
wanted to
something
cut
like that.
open all your bodies so we could crawl inside each other and be one big happy family.
Yeah,
like,
which plays in later too.
yeah, it does
Yeah.
too. Yeah, and so from there, she kind of flips out and hold on, let me find my place here. Yeah, so she makes eggs and throws. Oh yeah, that's right. She falls to the floor, crawls towards them, and then throws up all that cum.
Yeah,
Because apparently
again,
she's full of cum too.
a lot
and
more
then-
this time.
She just throws this up all over the floor and then looks up and says,
It's inside.
Well, she says that before she falls to the floor, and
Yeah.
then she looks right before she falls to the floor, what we'd assume dead. She says, "Don't let it take my babies," which is kind of gut wrenching, honestly.
Yeah,
like the way she says it and everything. So
definitely hits the feels.
yeah, it does. So they take her in, and they can't. They try to get her out of the building, but the stairs have fallen. There's no stairs. The elevator's out. So they take her in, and essentially she's dead. Like they think she's dead, so they take her in on the bed, and lay her down, and I guess they're trying to figure out what to do with her from there. The neighbors come in and they try to like say a little prayer and all that good stuff. Okay, so the stairs are gone. Bev says her goodbyes to Elle as she's laying there on the bed, and Elle seemingly just wakes up and is just standing there and sitting there staring at her.
The fly on
So they
the eye.
take her, the fly on the eye. So this scene right here was okay. Like it was one of those scenes where I was like, they didn't do anything special with it. Like they could have done more with bringing her back, I guess, to make it more suspenseful, I suppose. Like I didn't think this scene was all that suspenseful. Like getting her up, taking her in, putting her in the bath, and all that stuff. Like it just didn't seem.
I think the problem that I had with it was the way that they made the mom rot.
Yeah,
Like it happened way too fast.
it was like really fast. She was like dead. Like
yeah,
right
like
away.
dead right away. And like, all the other deadites, it didn't happen until they knew that they were a deadite. Like there was something that would happen and, it would give away their evil.
Right.
And then they'd be like, oh, full on deadite.
And that does happen later, where it's just like full on deadite, and then they're evil.
But like,
what I mean?
she was like, she walked into the apartment looking dead
Right.
Yeah,
right away.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird too. She did look dead like right away. So they get her into the bathtub. She freaks out. She like climbs up the wall and like does this like contorting
Which is
thing.
enough for me to understand that there's something wrong.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
closing
definitely
the door and I'm
closing
out.
the door. I'm getting the fuck out. Like even the water starts boiling.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Yeah.
But
Then
they stand there like, are you okay?
Like and then she does this like scream thing and then falls back into the water. Then she gets up and like looks out of the tub, and they're like, "Mommy, are you okay?" And she says one of the coolest things. She goes, "Mommy's with the maggots now."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude.
And the face, like,
Yeah.
Mommy's with the maggots now.
Yeah, like she
Tilts
says
her
it in
head
such a
and-
way that is like it's very good.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Done very well.
It was done very, very well. So she then comes out of the tub, grabs a piece of glass, and is trying to attack. But the scene where she comes
Slowly.
out, slowly, where she comes out of the door, and like, because you think like it's showing the doorway, and they're like backing up because it's showing what they're looking at. They're looking at the door, waiting for her to come out, and the way she doesn't come jumping out, she just kind of like looks out of the doorway in a very, very creepy way.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was done
Because
so
all
well.
you see is like the top of her head and her hair just.
Yeah, and she just
Like,
kind of
she
looks
just-
out, and it's just kind of like one of those things like, oh, yeah, she's gone.
Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, it was a very well done scene. I think that part was well done. She comes out with a piece of glass and tries to attack Beth with the glass and stabs her through the hand, which, by the way, she apparently has no feeling in her hand because I would have been like in pain.
I would have screamed.
I would have
like a
been
bitch.
fucking like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, she barely felt it. Yeah, she barely felt that shit.
And I'm sorry, you're not going to keep your hand still as soon as somebody stabs it. You're going to twist it, and it's going to break that glass.
I'd punch that motherfucker in the face. She had a free hand.
No, I'm just saying, like, at first, as soon as something goes in your hand, you're not going to keep it, like,
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You're
'Cause
gonna-
she's standing there like you're like not even like hardly any feeling.
Stabbed me.
You stabbed me. It was kind of like that scene from Ace Ventura when when nature calls. He's like, ah, ah. So
What'd you do that for?
Throw me a spear.
so after that, Bridget comes out because after they saw her in the tub, Bridget and Cassie went into the bedroom to hide. Well, then she comes out and says, "Mom,"
Which gets to me, too, because Bridget's seen her walking up to Beth with the glass in her hand. You don't think Bridget would be like, Beth, look out!
I think she was kind of in shock a little bit because
When she
you
was
gotta
trying to
understand
get
that is her
Cassie out of the
mom.
room
yeah,
too.
yeah.
I will say Bridget was trying to get Cassie out of the room, and that was when she kind of grabbed her. Was when she saw her walking out with the glass, and then by the time she came back, it was kind of over with.
Yeah. So by that point, she attacks Bridget, jumps on her, and grabs the tattoo machine that she was fixing earlier. A lot of these things, a lot of these props, a lot of these things, you can tell were set up for
Oh,
the movie. Like the scissors were set up for later. The tattoo machine was set up. Even
Scissors were like number one as soon as you
as soon as you saw the scissors, that stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
I called that the first
Oh
time.
yeah.
Whenever the power goes out and the earthquake happens, the wood chipper falls. The entrance to the wood chipper falls. You're like, all these things are setups.
Oh yeah.
So many setups. It's almost like it's kind of like playing like I don't know, like a game of old school Resident Evil where you do something, a clue happens, and it sets up the next clue. You know what I mean? It's one of those
In
things.
a video game where it's a different shade
Yeah,
than the rest of the wall.
exactly.
There's a
There's
clue there.
there's the clue because it is activatable. Like you can go up and
You
press
guys'
B.
jinkies went off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So
Pretty much.
that's kind of how this movie kind of plays out. Like it plays out like
Foreshadowing.
everything. Yeah, a lot of
Right there.
foreshadowing. A lot of it. Like you see
Yeah.
a lot of that through this movie. And it honestly, I don't like it when you can call things out like that because I want to be surprised by all these things.
Yeah, I don't want to see them all. Like
Yeah.
at least I saw them all in this one. Like, that's
Everything
where
that
I was-
serves a purpose in this movie, you know it serves a purpose in this movie before it serves the purpose.
like Staphne,
yeah, like Staphne, like
You guys
she
are like-
serves a
like
purpose.
that. Like okay, that's cool. Like I was kind of like cool kid, like you're cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was like
Knew that was going to happen.
You guys are like that.
Honestly,
Leonardo
and I'm
DiCaprio
honestly
meme.
surprised that the bracelet didn't play a role because
Yeah, I
she's
kept
like
waiting
she
for
gave
that
her the
one.
bracelet. She's like it's for badass rocker chicks, and I'm like, okay, you know, but it never played a role, so that was kind of cool. I guess it was kind of more or less just overshadowing, like kind of foreshadowing their relationship together.
I guess
like
so.
her relationship with the youngest kid, you know, that kind of thing. So, but anyway, moving forward. All right, so she cuts Bridget's face. So she sticks the. I didn't notice this the first time about how she had done this. I noticed it, but I didn't really catch it. I guess she sticks the needle into her own face
Oh.
to get blood on it, and then sticks it into Bridget's face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there has to be an infection, right? So I didn't catch that the first time,
Yeah.
and the second time I watched, I was like, "Holy shit, that makes sense." Okay, so that's where, the neighbor guy comes in, and is like, "Oh my god, Elle." And then she automatically attacks him. And like she lunges on him like a fucking cat, dude, and bites his goddamn eyeball out.
Yeah.
And we all know the trivia on this, don't we,
Yep.
Karen?
Might as well go ahead.
Might as well go ahead and say
it.
it. Apparently, the crunch from that eyeball was was Bruce Campbell biting into an apple. So that was the sound effect, which is kind of cool, honestly.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So because you can hear that crunch, she was like, "Ugh," like you can hear it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Madison's here.
She's been here the whole time.
She missed the best part.
It's okay, Madison. We haven't forgotten about you.
She's been here the whole time.
I told you to shut the fuck up. You're not allowed to talk this episode.
She's been very quiet today. Will you
She has
give her
been
a
very
break?
quiet, Yeah.
God.
All right. So anyway, she bites the eyeball off. This is where they pretty much.
Hello?
Hold on. Pause. Oh, Madison's home.
Hi, Madison.
We're an hour and 6 minutes in.
Where the fuck you been? No.
She's been here the whole time.
No, with your mom.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, Madison, would you watch again, and would you recommend?
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
both?
To both.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're already like into the part where she bit the dude's eyeball out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
That's where we are.
Is there any notes that you
I'll
had
get there.
beforehand?
Huh?
Did you have anything you wanted to say about anything before that? Anything important?
You have a lot
Before
of
the
notes on this?
eyeball.
No,
Anything before the eyeball?
The part where the two people in the beginning were arguing at the door, they were like about the movie. I don't know what movie they were talking about. They were like, even the cruddy ones. And then the other guy was like,
The Freddy movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are no cruddy ones. And it was definitely you guys
Your dad brought
talking
that.
about
Yeah.
this
Yeah, your
in the
dad brought
13th,
that.
We
Yeah.
brought that up.
You say Jason the 13th.
Shh. My brain's not working
Oh,
yet.
all of the
Friday
Jason,
the
all of the.
She said Jason
movies
the
were bad.
13th.
I didn't mean to. I meant Friday.
I used to think the
No,
first one was
they were
good.
the Freddy Cougar movies. Nightmare on Elm Street.
It was the Nightmare on Elm Street movies that they
Yeah.
were talking about.
Oh.
There were at least two.
What?
Part 2 was very bad. Go on.
Is that the only note you had before the eyeball?
The Danny kid. I wouldn't want to be caught dead in a horror movie with that person. Ever.
Why? Because he makes really bad decisions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
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 Talked about that a little bit
Yeah,
too.
we
Yeah.
got into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Moving on then.
All right, so the eyeball, crunchy.
So the eyeball is very crunchy.
I can't imagine a eyeball would be crunchy though.
No, it's more like a
They're
squish,
very
like
soft.
a jelly.
Yeah,
squish
but
noise.
maybe there's a pop. You know what I mean? Like,
Like Boba.
Yeah, I could see that, but
Like a
maybe you want
pop?
to eat a grape.
Well,
yeah, kind of like a grape.
I
Yeah, like
yeah,
you'd want to
she
eat a
just-
grape in front
I
of a
don't think-
microphone, not an apple.
You could
Right.
have been the crunch, like for the bone around the eye.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm,
It was still a cool
maybe.
sound
It
effect.
was,
though.
but I mean, like, how do you get your mouth around the?
Right.
Bone.
So,
The demon could have broke the person's jaw. I mean, he doesn't feel
Have
it.
you seen some like those possessed people? Like jaws, like fucking yeah. Anyways,
okay, so they lock her out, they chain up the door, and so she pretty much murders everybody in the hallway.
yeah,
She kills
there was a kid.
both of the neighbor dudes, plus both the kids. Dude, she fucked up that little dude.
Yeah,
She straight ripped off both his arms and threw him across the hall.
yeah,
Mhm.
Like, he was like, what, 10?
yeah.
Yeah.
She gives no fucks. She
No.
killed all of them.
She was so mean.
The other kid ate the eyeball. He swallowed the eyeball. She
Yeah.
spit it out into the other dude's mouth. And then the dude comes out with his boomstick and shoots her, and she goes flying.
Yeah, why didn't he give her a good old double tap at least?
I know. Why wouldn't you double tap that? Like, yeah.
That was another gripe I had in this movie that
You seen what she's doing? Fuck that! I'd be unloading all my.
Like, he's
shotgun
looking
shells.
down the hall. You're telling me you don't see her moving towards you?
well, like in every other, at least in the Evil Dead movies, I don't remember any of them being as big a culprit as this one, where
Yeah.
they stab or shoot or whatever the Deadite once, maybe twice, and then go, my work is done.
Right.
You know, like,
yeah.
at least in the other ones, you know, like Ash would shoot 1,000 times until he was out of bullets. Or
Yeah,
like,
he would.
or like, you know, in
And
the
then
last one where the
dismember
girl
their
like just
bodies.
didn't stop until she knew it was mush. You know?
Yeah.
And like, I can't remember any other Evil Dead movie where the
This movie has a
everybody-
lot of difference. It's a stark difference between
I-
the other
yeah, I-
movies.
yeah,
And we're
maybe
gonna
that's-
get to that. We're gonna get to that.
It's our new generation. We're
It's-
all stupid.
I don't know. There's a lot of things wrong with this movie.
I didn't say it
Okay,
was
so
stupid. I just-
okay, so Bridget blames Danny for all that's going on and shows Beth the book. Bridget goes to the kitchen to mend her wound. The youngest is at the door.
she was so cool until that part.
Yeah, she was definitely at the door. She was at the door watching her mom outside the door
Mommy's
and
with
talking to her.
maggots now.
Yeah. So they find. So eventually, after he explains everything that's going on to Beth, Beth goes Beth goes looking for Bridget, and Bridget is in the kitchen eating glass. Yeah. So and it's a very kind of a creepy scene because she's like just staring up at nothing.
Well, before that, like she was in the kitchen and she started throwing up like
Yeah, she's throwing up
Maggots,
like
like
black
shit.
shit. Black shit's coming out her
Bugs.
eyeballs,
Bugs
bugs and
yeah.
dirt and everything else.
Before
And-
she finds Bridget, I think she goes after and tries to take care of Casey because Casey's getting choked out by her mom at the door.
No, that wasn't yet.
That
No,
wasn't
that
yet?
wasn't yet.
I thought that was before.
No.
Or-
because it shows you
No, it's not yet.
No,
Bridget.
I can't
I thought it
remember.
was before
Hold
the
on a
Bridget
second. Hold
scene.
on. Yeah. Or wait. Yeah, I don't know because which one did happen first? Because I didn't write it down. One of them happened first because they were pretty much simultaneously happening.
I'm pretty sure it was the
I'm wanting to say Cassie. What happened to Cassie happened first
Yeah.
because she does send them off to the bedroom before she finds Bridget chewing
Yep.
on glass.
Yep.
Yeah,
So I think that happened first, and then she went to see what was up with Bridget.
yeah.
Okay, so that happened. So essentially, what happened was the little girl, she thought her mommy was all better, this and that. So she unlocks the door and she grabs her by the throat and is like holding her about ready to kill her. And they manage to get her arm back out of the door and shut the door. Dumb moment for Cassie, dumbass, dumbass fucking 6-year-old.
To
There,
be fair though, she is 6, and this is like the only real stupid moment for her.
that is true. Yeah, she does do some
Out of
cool shit
all
later.
out of all of the other characters, she's probably the coolest.
Yeah, she does. She definitely does a lot more than the other ones.
Yeah, she got a lot
So,
smarter
yeah.
after that.
Okay, so right here, so Beth walks into the kitchen. In the kitchen, finds her on the counter chewing on glass. Where
Because she
you
wants
find,
to get rid of the things in her
yeah,
belly.
she wants to get get rid of the bad things in her tummy. That's what she says, or whatever, something like that.
the creepy crawlies.
Yeah,
in
the
her
creepy
tummy.
crawlies in her tummy. So she jumps off, attacks Beth, and Beth smacks her with a frying pan, and all kinds of other crazy shit. Chases her down, chases her into the bedroom with the kids, where this is where Stephanie comes in. Cassie impales her through the face, or through the throat, through the mouth,
Yeah.
and where they assume she is dead. So they then wrap her up in blankets and tape and leave her on the bed.
Electrical cords.
Yeah.
Which she just gets out of really
Yeah,
easily.
she just doesn't even.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. So then it turns into they say that they need to find out what's on that other record.
Can I say something about cheese grater to the leg?
Oh yeah, that was,
Everybody,
I
okay,
hate
everybody was
cheese grater.
everybody was going on and on
yeah.
about
I thought
that.
it was gonna be a lot.
So when
worse.
she picked up that cheese grater, I'm like, oh.
yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
And when it happened, I was like,
That's it.
it was like
oh.
a couple scratches on the
Yeah, I
leg.
was like, I
Deep
get it. She
scratches.
took off some skin, and like I could see that.
And I'm
being-
sure
You'd
that
think she'd been,
hurt,
like,
but
fucking
like,
doing this number.
Yeah,
like,
like that's all you got was that one.
disappointing,
Uh-huh.
It was
I
kind of
like-
disappointing.
'cause
I mean,
know.
don't get me wrong.
When
It
she-
looks
I
good.
hate
yeah, when she
cheese
picked it
grater.
up, I'm like, ooh, here we go. Oh.
Kinda let
Yeah,
down.
I do not like cheese.
Because one of the best things about Evil Dead is the gore.
Yeah.
The gore. You look
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah.
All the blood and the guts and everything. And it delivers in some accounts
Yeah.
in this movie, but not near as much as the old movies. So
Not near as much as even the last one.
no. The last one was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, all right. So from there, okay. So he says, I don't have a turntable power for a turntable. So they wire up she uses a soldering iron, like a soldering gun,
Batteries and shit.
to solder up to the batteries. Where did she get the fucking power for the soldering gun?
It's like a foot pedal
A foot pedal to what?
to the soldering gun.
Was it like you crank it?
Yeah.
It's like you gotta rotate it, like it's
no,
heating
no,
up, guys.
No, foot pedal. That's how you crank it. You don't have a crank. You foot
Like a
pedal it.
sewing machine.
Like
Like
a
a
sewing
sewing machine? I don't think that's how that works.
I'm
how it
just
worked in the
trying to throw
movie.
it out there, man. Throwing
The
it
most
out
I
there.
could think was maybe it was a cordless
Fuck,
soldering
I don't
gun.
know. I wasn't being
Water
serious.
power.
Huh?
Oh, it's water.
Water power?
Put it on a little
I was just
turbine.
wondering because I'm like, does anybody else see the flaw in this? I have no power.
Maybe it's
We're gonna use the soldering
maybe it was
gun
a-
to
maybe it
solder
was
it.
a
How are you
bat-
gonna use a soldering gun?
Maybe
There's
it's
no
a
power.
battery-powered soldering gun.
I was thinking maybe it was cordless or something, but it don't show the top of the soldering gun whenever
Yeah.
they do because I was really looking for it. So I don't know. Flaws. I'm telling you, there are flaws.
Maybe it's chargeable.
That's what I said. Maybe it's cordless, like rechargeable. Anyway,
Is
so
that
she's
even a thing though? Is
Huh?
that a thing?
well.
Depends
Another
on
problem I
steroids.
have with it is like them little batteries are going to charge that they're going to run the turntable and the speakers and everything.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of power. Well, I guess not the speakers, but the
Yeah, that's true.
headphones. Just off of some batteries, But I don't know. Whatever. Okay, moving on. It's a small detail. So Elle gets the. She listens
She's a
to the
sound
third
tech.
one.
She knows what she's doing.
Or Beth listens to the third record, and
The
so
third record's supposed to hold the how do we shut it?
how do we
down?
shut it all down kind of thing, and turns out there is no way to shut this shit down.
Mm-hmm.
They're
So-
unstoppable.
Wait,
Except there had to be.
there were a bunch of like record things, right?
3 of them, yeah.
Yeah, there were 3 of them. I thought there was more than 3 of them. Was there only 3 of them in the whole?
Yeah, there's only 3.
Yeah.
The first one was
Yeah.
the one that described.
What if she
What
didn't
that he
grab
was
all
like-
of them whenever she went down there? What if she only grabbed like one?
Or is she a she to you?
I don't.
We've been calling it him.
We're not sure. They didn't discuss pronouns for that person,
You're just calling it.
but we were going boy because
We don't know.
we're not
I don't
sure.
know. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, but what if he didn't?
And they had
Maybe
kind of
not.
a deep voice, like they were.
Yeah, but it sounded like it was a girl trying to be a boy.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's what
I'm
I'm saying.
tired.
Maybe
I don't
she
even want to talk about.
identifies as a
I don't
boy.
want to talk
I
about it
don't
anymore here.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't
We
want to
don't
talk
know
about
the
it anymore.
pronouns. Fuck it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I don't fucking care. Okay, so so from there, Elle gets in through the air ducts. She goes in through the air ducts, and this is where you start to. Bridget's obviously not dead. She's twitching because you're finding out that these deadites, as they're called, can't die. They can't fucking die. At least not with like a stab to the face and all these things.
Gotta dismember him.
You got to do a lot more than that, I think. So essentially, she comes in through the ducts and she's getting into the room where Beth happens to be listening to the record, and you see her creeping in through the back. And as Bridget is also getting up and creeping her way through the apartment towards,
She was floating, wasn't she?
she was floating, towards Danny and
Casey.
Cassie.
Cassie.
Okay, so Elle attacks Beth and Bridget attacks Danny and stabs him in the arm, which I want to say is the worst looking practical effect I've seen in a long time.
Still would've
Like you
fucking
could
hurt,
see
though.
her. Well, I'm saying like you could see whenever it was stabbed through her or him. Like
Yeah.
you could see her prosthetic arm like detached from her body.
Yeah.
And I was kind of disappointed. Like that is like one of the simplest effects you could pull off, and they did not do a good job of it. I was really disappointed with that effect. Because I didn't notice it I noticed it the first time, and then the second time it really stood out.
Yeah.
Like I noticed it both times. It stood out like a sore thumb each time, and it bothered the fuck out of me.
I noticed it the first time, but I
Yeah.
imagine if I watched it a second time, I would.
It really bothered
really
me the
notice
second
it.
time. So that really bothered me. The stab through the arm though was cool because they show it like from a front view too,
Yeah.
and the knife is through his arm,
Yeah.
and then she like vomits all over him and everything else because
That's
she
how he
pulls
gets
the blade
infected.
out of herself and puts it in him.
Yeah.
And
if he didn't have it before, he definitely did then.
right, exactly. So and then she like vomited all over him and all kinds of shit. And then she even says, "I told you to put the book back," you know. So and then she stabs him in the chest, like right here, like where there's no coming back from it.
Yeah, you're not making it after
You're not
that.
making it out of that. And then Elle attacks Beth, and somehow or another she goes through a window or through them doors or whatever.
Yeah.
And conveniently, this is where the scissors come in because Cassie is hiding under the table.
Mm-hmm. I was
But
wondering when they were going to use them scissors. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
that was
you,
on
yeah,
purpose.
you knew that was happening. So let's cut back to Danny. Danny ends up using like a can of like spray or something and lighting Bridget on fire and all that shit. But you know Danny's
Maybe it was
dying.
spray olive oil.
No, it looked like a hairspray. Well, it could have been, I guess, maybe or something. It was
It was in
something
the
Cooking
kitchen.
spray.
Yeah, it was like
cooking spray or something. So Danny's pretty much out of the game at this point. And then Cassie slides. She's hiding under where she had hid the scissors earlier, and slides them over to Beth, where Beth then sticks it up through, which is pretty
Right through the nose.
real cool place to honestly I've never seen done. She sticks it up through the nose into her brain, and like it's just like a pair of scissors like that are like this in her head, and
Yeah.
it's so cool. I was
And
like,
they did a really good job
they
with
did.
that one.
They did a good job with that. And then the way she just kind of sat down, like they kind of made her brain dead for a minute, was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And gave them a chance. They got out of the apartment. She said, "We're getting the fuck out of here." And they go out into the hallway. She picks up the shotgun. She says, "I'm going to try to get us through she's going through the emergency exit." And so she gets the shotgun because she can't get it with the hammer, which they were trying to do earlier, trying to get through the emergency exit to get out of the building. Where then the dead ones in the hallway all start to wake up.
Deadites.
Yes, the deadites.
They took long enough.
No shit, they took forever. Like now they're alive, and they're all kind of like chanting all the great things that we all come to know and love of
Dead by dawn.
Dead by Dawn, Dead by Dawn,
Dead by
you know, all that
dawn.
good stuff. And then, so Elle then pulls the scissors out of her head, comes out into the hallway, and kind of like, you know, this is where like you're like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? But then she gets a few shots off. She shoots off her arm first, or no, her leg first,
Yeah, like
and then she kind of falls to the floor. And then this is where the dude wakes up and grabs her leg for having his like, "That's my gun, you cunt," or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then by doing that, she accidentally shoots off Elle's arm instead of her face. And then she falls to the ground, and this is where she says, what'd she say in this part?
she's trying to take your mommy away or some shit.
No. Oh, yeah, she does say that. But she says something else that's like another
One-liner.
one
whatever.
liner from the old movies. I can't remember at that point.
Well, that's where the Dead by Dawn thing comes in.
oh, yeah.
Because she says nobody
Ellie waits in
leaves
hell for
here.
you and your
Nobody
unborn
lives.
bastard.
Nobody lives past dawn, or everybody
Yeah.
will die before.
Everybody
dawn or
dies
something.
by dawn.
Everybody dies by
and
dawn.
then everybody started chanting. Dead
or
by
everybody will
dawn.
be dead by dawn.
Yeah, Dead by Dawn, Dead by Dawn.
Yeah. So so they end up going to the elevator. They find out the only reason why it's not closing is because the keys are jammed in the door, which is the stupidest fucking thing.
Yeah, you would have thought that would have been the first
Nobody
thing,
ever
but-
thought to look down to see if maybe something was blocking the door from shutting.
Which somehow the power's all back on for the elevator.
Well, I think the elevator automatically has an emergency power.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually,
So most elevators have an emergency power.
Yeah.
So they get into the elevator, they get the door shut, then it starts to fill with blood, which was kind of cool because it was a realistic looking blood. It wasn't like, you know, it didn't look like fucking, you know, corn syrup and food coloring. Like it looked like a thick red blood, which is pretty neat.
I hate elevators. I don't like them.
So this is also where Elle begins to assimilate with her children.
Which I thought was stupid as fuck.
I thought it was kind of dumb and a big cop out. I felt like it was something that are like, we got to do something different here that you haven't seen in an Evil Dead movie that kind of toes that line but doesn't go beyond, you know. And I thought that was like yeah, but go bigger, man. Go bigger. Like don't do don't half-ass this by like, oh, we're gonna make him 6 legs, 6 arms, but it's gonna be her face and her, they're like gonna be one
Giant blob of
appendage,
arms
an
and
appendage
legs.
body, like monstrosity or something. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was dumb.
That was dumb. You know what it reminded me of was the giant critter ball in part 2 when they all assimilate together and become a giant critter ball.
Oh yeah, it kind of reminded me of The Thing a little bit too, in a way,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing, only less creepy.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that creepy.
Yeah, it wasn't really scary.
It was more stupid. Like if I seen that thing coming at me, I'd be like, kick
Okay,
it.
so there's
Kick it.
I don't have to avoid
Kick
all
it.
of you separately. Now I just have to avoid one of you together.
Yeah.
Like okay.
And you guys can't move that fast because
Yeah.
you're all fucked up.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb. So this is where so hold on, Bevan, little one. Okay, so they're on the elevator. It's filling up, and they're afraid of drowning. But as it's filling up, you see the overweight capacity sign. It's like, okay, we already know what's about to happen here.
Mhm.
So it's filling up because they're trying to get out. But then here's Beth. The L family, L and Co.
Ellen go.
above them in the escape hatch.
I like that.
So there she is, and then so they're like, oh fuck, we're fucked, and then the whole thing comes crashing down, which, to be honest, was a cool scene. The part where they come crashing out and it's just blood everywhere was pretty sweet.
Very Kubrickian of them.
Oh yeah, very, very. So the part where she picks up the little girl, and this might be the cutest moment, and I feel sadistic for saying it. The cutest moment of this little girl in this movie, she goes, "Am I dead?" And just the look on her face and the pure innocence in her face, just covered in blood, is fucking adorable. I thought it was adorable. I was like, she is so cute. Covered in blood and shit. That's such a cute little girl. You know what I mean?
Adorable, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. She was adorable in that scene. I was like, that is so funny. So I really liked that scene with that little girl. It just reminded me of just like an adorable little kid.
Yeah.
Am I dead? You know what I mean? So it was good. I like that part. Okay, so they then get up and make a run for the car. And therefore get to the car, they get it started, and they're waiting. They're trying to get the gate open, which I guess the button has problems. It won't always work to open the gate. So,
Which I forgot about the gate thing, because when they started the car, I was like, what?
so they're just gonna get out of there.
Like
now?
they're just gonna go?
yeah, they're
What?
just gonna get the fuck out of there. There's
It
no
started?
yeah.
Wait.
Hold on.
Does it have problems?
Yeah, hold on now.
The
But they
car
don't-
started.
The car started. This isn't a real horror movie.
Check your cell phone. Do you have service?
yeah,
Well, then it gets stuck. Okay, now we're back.
Yeah,
into
when
it.
they turn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the gate. I think I even wrote.
then they
that.
were having problems with it, and it was like, and then it does open, but then they see the thing comes out.
Ellen and Ellie and Co.
Ellie and Co. So they come out and they get out of the car really fast, which I thought was really this is a dumb scene because they get to the door and they look inside
it's
the
a
car.
chain link fence.
And they see the fucking thing moving, which means she just literally left the car, which means she's hiding on the other side of the car.
Duh.
You think 3 brains, Ellie
they,
and Co.
they can't. They
That
can't
was more
move
than
that
3
fast.
brains.
They're all fucked
Yeah,
up.
well, I'm just saying, but they're moving slowly. Where'd she go?
Yeah, they're a little
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah. So they're hiding on the other side of the car. Then they make their way around and blah, blah, blah. They manage to hide behind a
See,
beam.
if they'd have stopped, if they hadn't been all in one of them could have been waiting on the other
Yeah,
side of the car.
exactly.
You
But
know
like
what
I said,
mean?
now they only have to avoid one unit
Yep.
instead of 3 separate people, you know? So
Yep.
whatever, though.
What a bonehead idea.
Yeah.
Ellie
Jesus,
and
like you guys wanted them to die.
Well, I'm just saying, apparently even the Deadites are stupid.
Well, I mean,
They weren't all that smart in the other movies either,
yeah,
but they
think
were.
about Army of Darkness here.
That's true. That's true.
But none of them
Well,
tried to.
I'm thinking of all the
What
skeleton
was this-
soldiers.
Yeah, what was
Let's
that
get the
one?
hell out of here!
Yeah,
Let's get the hell out of here.
That fucking had me dying in Army of Darkness.
He's like, let's get the hell out of here!
I fucking love that movie.
Me too.
Anyway, so from there,
God damn it.
so she sees the gate beginning to close. So they try to make a beeline for the gate to get the fuck out of there before the thing can get to them. So they both get on her, but then the monster grabs Cassie's leg, pulls her back in, and the gate closes, leaving Beth on the outside. So she kicks in a hole through the side of the gate.
Dude, I thought that little girl was gonna die.
Yeah, I was like, holy fuck, that girl is dead.
Yeah.
So she kicks in the gate, or kicks in the side of the gate to get in.
Cassie's too cool to die.
That's true. I was thinking, like, the first time I watched, I was like, I don't think they're going to kill her. Like, it was just one of those things where I was like, I don't think they're going to kill that
They
one.
never
She
killed the
came up
little
with
girl.
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
I mean, yeah.
She's not.
She's a badass little rocker chick.
She's not going anywhere.
So,
I was surprised they
Beth
killed
would
some
die
teenagers.
first.
yeah. So she gets inside, and she, like, the Ellen Co., they get the chainsaw, and they were gonna. She's like, she's like, don't worry, sweetie. All I want is your little pretty head. And she would like wants to chop off her head, which is a stupid thing. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, don't they need the extra limbs?
Yeah, why don't you need the extra limbs to get around a little quicker, or is it getting to be too much? So about that time, she gets shot, and drops the chainsaw or whatever. It gets her attention drawn towards Beth. And Beth says, which is one of the coolest lines in the movie, "Come get some," which is obviously a
I
line.
disagree.
She ruined
You
it.
didn't like it?
No,
She ruined it.
and I think it's because I'll tell you in my
Okay,
review.
yeah. So anyway,
My feelings on it, she just ruined it.
so this is the dumbest.
Wasn't
This
the
is probably
coolest
the
scene.
dumbest death in like. Damn, my stomach is.
What
making
was
some noise.
that?
What's my stomach over here growling at me.
It sounded like mechanical. Like, what kind of machine you got over there?
It's actually one of the Deadites.
Oh, man.
Bugs
me next
inside
time.
her
Ellie and Co.
crawling
Yeah.
around.
Just
So-
the creepy crawlies in your tummy.
Yeah, so pretty crawlies. I need to eat my cup. So anyway, they so the thing comes out towards Beth. They kick on the fucking turns out it's
Wood chipper.
a wood chipper, and she crawls out. And this is the dumbest thing ever because they're trying to put her in the wood chipper, but then Cassie turns it off, so she's able to get away from the wood chipper. Then she crawls down in front of the wood chipper. Like what are you doing? You know this is what's going to happen here. We knew exactly what was
Yeah.
going to happen here. So of course,
Dude, I thought that little girl was gonna let Beth die for a second.
yeah.
Just
So she
staring
turns-
at
The
So
her.
she picks
timing of
up-
things in this ending were really off. I felt
Yeah.
like you said, like
Yeah.
it looked like she was gonna let Beth die for a second.
So like,
And,
your
like,
Casey
just-
was going to die, and
Yeah, just the way that they timed.
The way they kind of edited things together. I
yeah,
guess.
the timing of all of the things to happen in this ending were just strangily off.
I've got a few gripes about this ending that we'll get to.
Yeah.
So okay, so they get to so she gets away, and of course she steps down in front of it and she gets the hold of the chainsaw, Beth does, and she screams, I think she takes the chainsaw to it first. Or no, she says, "Turn it on, Cass," or whatever, which she
Yeah.
says it in a pretty cool fucking way. I gotta
Yeah.
say. I really like the way she said it and the way it came out and the way it was presented. It was expressed, and yeah.
This is the coolest she's been the whole movie.
Yeah, for sure. Like, this is the coolest Beth gets in the whole movie.
The character arc.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she kicks it on, and she, like, puts this chainsaw into this fucking thing, pushing it into the... Which is a pretty cool, pretty fucking gory, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Even the way it, like, rips her apart and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like,
We finally get it.
yeah, right. So then, like, her head is just laying there, and she says, "You really do look like Mom." And then, what'd she say? She said something at the end of this.
I don't remember. Like,
And then she says something
I was
else,
just, like,
and she's
over
like,
it.
"I'm not something or another," and then kicks her head into the.
That's how I feel
Wood
every
chipper.
time someone compares me to my mom. Damn! That's
Yeah.
not. No!
you're not
So,
supposed to kick him into the
From
wood
there,
chipper.
you get. From there, you got. She picks up her and Cass obviously walk out of the parking garage. She picks up the chainsaw on her way out, and takes it with her. And then from there, it cuts to like probably 5 or 10 minutes later, where the girl from the beginning, Jessica, walks out. Apparently, she lives in the same apartment building. Walks out into the
She's
garage.
too fancy to be living there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walks out into the apartment building. What?
She walked out of the stairs.
Yeah, the stairs were back up.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe she lives on a lower floor. I think she.
They
she was
showed
coming
them
off.
all the way
The
down.
stairs were.
I don't know.
crumbled to the
She said.
floor.
I think she was on the 5th floor. She
Yeah.
came off of the 5th floor.
It showed them all the way down.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
I don't
stairs
fucking
were-
know, man.
Okay.
Another one of those continuity issues, I guess. So she ends up coming out. She's talking to the girl that she eventually scalps later.
They must.
They
have.
did. They repaired.
With the
10
same
minutes.
soldering iron. I
You had-
assume.
Yeah, the same soldering iron. They soldered it back together, guys. Don't worry, it's
Maintenance came
okay.
by.
So
Yeah,
so
maintenance.
so
They're
they
that quick.
yeah, maintenance got there real fast. Like, what? The stairs are out. Get to it. We're only going to demo it in a month.
I was getting ready to say they're gonna fix it just to tear
Yeah.
it all back down.
So
they
they,
really want the place to be clean when they
yeah.
tear it down.
Call back. So they get in there.
Don't worry about
So
it.
she comes
We'll
in.
come back
She
to
goes.
that.
She goes out to a car. Blah blah blah. She's talking to her cousin on the phone. And she says, "I'll meet you at the cab. I'll be there in 15 minutes to get you." Blah blah blah. Then she gets in her car, starts it, and realizes there's a mess behind her car. So she gets out to investigate. Dumb move.
If there's a mess in the parking garage, I'm leaving. It's not my problem.
That's not my
Right.
problem. I ain't fucking with that. Especially if it looks like a
Wonder what that
goddamn
is.
murder scene.
Right?
So
was
she
never
goes.
here.
Fuck
Yeah.
out of there at that point.
So she goes out, checks it out, and screams her face off like any normal blonde chick would do. And then she gets attacked by what looks like 3 different entities. So all 3 of those entities entered her, I guess. I don't fucking know. And that's where it cuts to black and roll credits and all that good stuff.
If you think
The
about,
end.
if you think about it, like without all the horror aspect of this movie, it's actually a really depressing movie.
Yeah.
I think without any of the horror aspects, there is no movie
No, I'm-
because
I'm-
that's
No,
just
I
what
mean,
it is.
like without any of like, if you weren't scared or anything, if you just think about,
What are you doing?
Just stare down.
I say, is this a stare?
just think about it. Think about it.
Think about what?
It's depressing.
all the kids dying.
What's depressing about it?
Kind of like
If
Pet
that
Cemetery.
one stupid white person didn't go down there and get that book and come up, he ruined the whole family.
Why is it gotta be about race?
Man.
A stupid white person. They were blonde too.
Damn
Yeah.
white person.
Gosh.
The bleach got to his head.
Anyway, so let's get our thoughts here before we get into reviewing. So I got a few things. So I didn't like the ending. Actually, fuck that. We're gonna skip that. We're gonna go right into reviewing because then that
Yeah,
that
you
way
can
we
ju-
can
you
give
can
our
just give your thoughts.
give your thoughts there. So
Let's rock out this bitch.
all right, so we're gonna start out with, since Madison wasn't here, let's hear a little bit out of Madison.
Yeah.
Madison, give us your thoughts and your review.
You're gonna hate me. I actually really like that movie.
I don't hate you for liking the movie. Not at
Yeah,
all.
we're not gonna hate you
Not
for
at
it.
all. It's not. I didn't say it was a bad movie.
No, I really like that movie. I like the ending too.
Did you?
I don't like wood chippers though. I never have.
Well, that's why it's a good reason to like it.
Didn't like in
It's
David
a good
Tucker.
death scene.
I mean, it's a
Hey,
good
we
death
got your
scene.
friend.
I just don't
Oh
like
yeah,
seeing them.
Tucker and Dave. Yeah, that's a good
Tucker and
fucking
Dale,
Tucker and Dale. That's what
Hey,
it
we
is.
got your
I just
friend.
don't like
Or
watching
you think he's
people get
okay?
chopped up, like in Fear
Are
Street,
you
whenever she gets put into
okay?
the cake slicer. Or the
That
cheese
shit was
slicer or
awesome
whatever.
though. in
I
Fear
know
Street.
it was cool, but
It was
like,
straight out of left field. You're like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, I was not expecting her to die like that.
no, not at all.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought it was cool whenever the villain died like that, but like whenever the heroes die like that, it's kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
really? That sucks. But anyways, I really like that movie. Yeah.
What do you rate it?
I'll give it a 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, your thoughts and your rate.
So, okay, my pros, I really like the acting, horror, gore, lots of gore. I really enjoyed that. It pulls a little bit of the heartstrings with all the kids' deaths and stuff. Yeah, I'm glad that Bruce Campbell had something to do with the movie. I was a little upset that he didn't like have a cameo.
Right.
I was really hoping he had like some sort of scene, but I knew he didn't.
It's good to know that like at least his voice was used in his
Yeah.
things like that.
What'd they use it for?
For the first record, it was his voice
Oh, was
saying
it?
don't open the book or whatever.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
open the book. It's the Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
And then it was also apparently his biting into an apple that was the crunch of the eyeball, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Karen told us all that earlier. Or no, Eric did.
I
Sorry.
did. I ruined
Eric
that
ruined it.
trivia for Karen.
That was supposed to be the last.
I was trying
Piece
to
of
help
trivia.
you, okay? I'm sorry.
Like I don't do my job every week.
I know, but I'm just throwing it out there for you. Yeah, some of the continuity issues, like you said, I mean, the prosthetic arm. Some of the other what the hell else was it?
The stairs.
Stairs.
How they magically reappear.
So I mean, I wanted to give it a higher rating, but I was at an 8.5. More I think about it, it's more like I'll give it an 8
Okay.
for me.
Okay. That's actually
enjoyed
pretty
it.
high. I thought it was going to be a
I-
lot lower for him. Really.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like a 6.
Well, he said at the beginning.
I know. He
liked
said he
it.
liked
I
it,
liked
but
it.
I thought it would be lower than that before we even started the podcast. Is why.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, possessive movies, they do
Possession
get me.
movies, yeah.
They do.
See, I like the
but-
Evil Dead movies for the gore and the horror and the
Evil-
slapstickiness of
Yeah,
it.
Evil Dead
This-
doesn't bother me because growing up, like even the first one,
They're so campy.
the first
Yeah.
one was
You know,
campy,
the
but it
first
wasn't.
ones were. And
And then like the second one came, it was a comedy to me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
For,
It was a horror comedy.
Yeah, it was a comedy, and then
So was the
Army of
second or third
Darkness,
one, yeah.
I think I
So-
showed you Army of Darkness first, though, because
This
I didn't want to scare you.
This doesn't bother me because I think of those as comedy movies. This one actually was more of a oh fuck.
Yeah, same as the
Yeah.
last one, too.
Yeah.
yeah,
last
they're
one.
taking this.
They're trying to make. it
Yeah,
more of a
they're
horror
making
now.
them way
And that's fine.
darker.
That's
yeah,
fine.
totally
It's
fine.
100%
totally fine.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
not a gripe for me at all.
All right, Karen.
The only Evil Dead movie I think I've ever seen.
Let's get the hell up out of here.
Let's get the hell out of here.
The
I never
fucking-
showed you
Maybe
Evil
I didn't
Two?
say every single syllable, but basically I said
That
them. Yeah.
fucking movie
I find
had
that
me
hard to
dying.
believe.
Latu, Verata,
I've got- We'll have to watch them. They're
The
good.
fucking skeletons.
nickel,
Karen,
necktie.
what do you say, man?
All right, so, for me, the movie started off kind of strong. I felt like the directions that they were taking it, things, felt very original. The things that they were doing and stuff at the beginning. So I didn't have a lot of gripes at the beginning, except for like we talked about the bank, but kind of cleared that up for me a little bit. I like the whole family angle. It brings a whole level of heart to it that you didn't have in any of the other movies. You didn't. I guess you didn't have that much emotion in any of the other movies.
Right.
You didn't feel that level of emotion. So it was kind of different for me in that sense at the beginning. But then I don't know. It just kind of starts to fall apart for me at some point. And I'm not even sure where it started to fall apart for me. But I started to kind of feel like, the pregnancy thing for the sister. Like, why were we introduced to that at all?
It didn't play much of a
Yeah.
factor, really.
No, other than to give her like a surrogate mom deal, but she's an aunt. You are already a surrogate mom.
In a sense,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
we don't need you to have a bun in the oven for that.
I agree with that. yeah.
So I didn't understand that angle at all. Why were we introduced to it at all? Didn't make any sense. And then the whole the third one said there's no way to stop it. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada. But they did stop it. They did stop it somehow.
They didn't though because it went on to possess another chick.
Oh,
No,
We're talking about the older movies
the
too.
old, they put it in a
Oh.
bank vault.
Oh.
The book and everything that went with the book went into a bank vault,
Right.
and the world was safe again. How did they stop it the first time?
How
They
they
can't
stop it
travel
in the
through
past,
borders.
regardless. Like,
Yeah. So there's a way to stop it, just like in the other movies. We
Yeah.
figured out a way to stop it. They
Yeah,
they
a
just
bunch
they
of-
just clearly were like, nope, there's no way, but there is a way.
I agree.
I mean,
yeah.
there has to be. And what really, really, really started to bother me were all of the nods there at the end. The Dead by Dawn, Come Get Some. You had it so original in the beginning. You were throwing your
Yeah.
own ideas out there. You were doing great with all of that.
I get it, and I
And then
get,
at
but
the
I
end,
also, but you also have to understand they're trying to please a wider audience. They're trying to please the old audience.
Sure,
too,
but maybe sprinkle them throughout the movie.
right instead of
It
all
was like- it was like-
all within like a 10-minute period.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, they're like, we don't know what to do, so we're just going to borrow from everyone else, including Stanley fucking Kubrick.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the elevator scene too, but it's like a little on the fucking nose,
a little bit. Yeah,
is all I'm
I
saying.
thought the same thing.
Yeah,
First
so-
thing I thought when I saw it was like The Shining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't. Like, I guess it was just too much and too short of a time span. I'm fine with nods and things like that. That's cool. You want to give homages to other directors and the other films, all that. I get that 100%, but it's just all at once, and they were doing so well at bringing their own ideas, and then they weren't anymore, and it threw me for a loop, I suppose.
I get it.
Yeah, so I don't know. It just says at some point it threw me for a loop, and I didn't like it anymore. I thought the ending was way underwhelming for the rest of the movie and the action that we saw, and the only thing that you got was just a lot of blood and a wood chipper, which was pretty amazing, but like
Where
underwhelming.
was the bone at?
Yeah,
There was a bunch of blood, but there was no skin or bone.
well, yeah. I mean, skin maybe you should probably seen some of that, but bone is going to get pulverized in there.
Yeah.
It's a wood chipper.
Yeah. Think about what wood looks like coming out of there.
Yeah. Mix that with blood and tissue and everything else.
Yeah, it's going to just turn to sludge.
Yeah, it's going to look like a bunch of sludge.
But yeah. So I overall couldn't say I really cared for the movie a lot. So I'm just going to go down the middle and say 5 because somewhere at some point it went bad.
Right. I think for me, it's got a lot of flaws and it's got a lot of good points. I will honestly say that this is my least favorite of all the Evil Dead movies.
No, definitely. Yeah.
I love Evil Dead. I love Ash. He's my all-time favorite.
And Bridget looked like Edward Furlong in Terminator 2. Now I'm done.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Disagree
That's
there.
from, or is that a different
Yeah, that's
movie?
Ash
Yeah.
from the original Evil Dead series.
Okay.
So I gotta say, this is the worst Evil Dead movie. I like even the first one that was made on a like shoestring budget was, in my opinion, better than this because it was something new and original and wonderful, and they worked hard as fuck to do it. What are you guys looking
Showing
at?
him the trivia.
The trivia that he
Oh.
ruined.
So anyway, so there's a lot of gripes with this. I think that
For what reason?
I think that some of the characters in this were a little two-dimensional. I didn't like Bridget. I thought that Danny was kind of dumb. And I wish I knew their fucking gender. Also, I think that I didn't understand the pregnancy thing either. I didn't get that. I was like, why is this here? Why introduce this if it's not going to...
Got like 3 pages.
It's not going anywhere. I know it's trying to show her mother, like her motherly side, I guess, but it's still... I didn't understand.
Failed.
Yeah, I didn't get it. So I didn't get that. I thought that some of the characters here were kind of cool. All of this was a rehash of what's been done already. You're taking a cabin and turning it into a fucking apartment, a floor of an apartment building. That's all you're doing. So, in my opinion, you're not really doing anything new. You're not reinventing the wheel here. You're just changing the setting. That's all you're doing. You're changing the setting with the same scenario. And I didn't like it. Honestly, if you're going to do something new, do something new. Don't rehash what's already been done. And I think that the last movie did it right, man. It was a remake, don't get me wrong, but
Wasn't shot for shot.
it wasn't shot for shot, and it was fucking good, man. It was good. Like, I was so happy with that remake. And I'm a huge I should have been the one bitching about it the most because I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. But I didn't. I love that fucking remake. It was good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I could say about this. You're right. Some of the one-liners in it, bringing them back, was kind of dumb. I would say that Beth is probably my least favorite protagonist of the Evil Dead franchise because she's so she's like one-dimensional as fuck.
Cassie's up there, though.
Cassie's pretty cool. I do like her. She's adorable, covered in blood.
I hope she comes back.
Yeah, she could come back.
She
But-
probably will.
She's
as
going
an
to be Bruce
adult.
Campbell's
That'd be
protege
cool.
in the next one.
Yeah, right?
Bruce Campbell's not coming back.
That'd be awesome if you did, though.
I mean, he's done like the stuff in the background, but he's not
He
playing
did,
Ash
the
again.
TV show or whatever.
Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh, I love that show.
It was good.
Anyway,
That was a good show too. But I think for me, I don't know, man. Like I didn't feel it as much in this. It wasn't as gory as it could have been. Some of the deaths were dumb, kind of cheap. I thought they were kind of cop outs. A lot of this movie, I feel like is
Bridget.
no.
She got cut in the cheek, man.
That wasn't really a death, though. That was more of a
Infection.
infection, yeah. It was kind of a slow burn, too, which is okay, in my opinion.
It's happened in other movies that way. They
Right,
get infected
exactly,
and
yeah.
It happens
Slowly.
depending on.
So
where the
there's
infection
I
started.
have gripes, but there are good things about it too. Like some of the death scenes are a little wonky, but I don't know, man. I think that some of the characters in it are cool. I liked Elle. I think she was cool, even especially as a Deadite. She did a great job as a Deadite.
Oh yeah, Psycho.
I
She's a
even
great actor.
I liked the kids. I did like the setting. The setting was cool. I thought it looked good.
The Art Deco. I love that.
Yeah, it looked really good. But I don't know, man. I think for me, I'm gonna have to come in here and say I give it a 6.5. I'm not. I mean, it's good, but it's not great. You know what I mean? Like I said, though, it's not the best. It's the worst Evil Dead movie in my opinion. I'll give it a 6.5. I started out at 7, but the more I thought about it, the less I liked it. And honestly, I don't know if I would even. I'll probably buy it on Blu-ray just because I need all of them.
Army of Darkness was always my favorite one.
Yeah, I mean, I love the old ones, but this one here is just. It was a disappointment, man.
So I'm the asshole at 5.
Well, I mean, it's not a
No,
bad movie.
Honestly,
it's very
honestly,
watchable.
if Jeremiah were here to review it, our aggregate would probably be like way lower because he'd probably be like 2, 1.
He didn't like it
Oh,
at
he
all.
hated
He
it.
hated it.
Like we were talking about it to April and her boyfriend last Saturday, and every time I would try to talk about it, he'd come in with some just tirade, like, and another thing, that mother. I'm like, well, I mean, I didn't like it, but he hates it. Like,
He fucking hates it.
but our aggregate comes to a 6.8.
That's
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 not.
decent for that movie.
Yeah.
That's decent for us,
overall-
honestly, because like I think for us, especially like me and Karen are horror movie fans.
Yeah.
So for us to give it, our opinion can't be taken lightly because we've watched a lot of horror movies. We're horror movie people, you know. So like we
I'm
love
more-
other.
I
I'm
things.
like
more of
that
a
they tried to bring
comedy
some
action
heart
person.
into it.
I did like that. I like that there was some levity to it. Like there were kids involved in,
Yeah.
instead of just some teenagers or some young adults.
Exactly.
You know, that's
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
more of
because
a
whenever the
comedy
kids started
action
dying,
That's what I'm saying.
that was a very surprising.
That's why I
aspect.
said I had to throw out that there were some originality to it in the beginning.
Right,
Yeah.
was
That
gonna
I
say,
really
kids
liked.
Never die in horror movies.
Right.
Yeah.
So in this case, I agree. The kids dying in this was pretty heavy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Especially the way that one kid died.
His arms ripped off. All right, let's get into our Rotten Tomatoes.
I think the critics hated it. I'm going 68.
Critics loved it.
No, the viewers loved it.
I'm
I'm a one-off.
I'm going 62.
I think the critics hated it.
You're-
I'm 68. That's where I'm at.
I'm going 85. Critics.
Hold on a second.
1.
All right. Rotten Tomatoes.
Maters.
Meters.
Maters.
Mater lives down the stairs.
I'll go 80. I'll do 80.
Come on, stupid. Come on, stupid. What are you? Retarded?
Jesus.
All right. So, what'd you guys say?
I said 68.
68,
62.
62,
80.
80. Eric's going to take it. 84%. Certified
critics?
fresh.
The critics?
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Certified fresh.
I should have known that they'd love it because I hated it.
I'm going to go real high for the
Oh,
Audience.
audiences.
Yeah,
The audience is like
65.
97.
99.
65.
No, I'm gonna go 93.
99.
What'd you say?
65.
All right. Well, who's closer to 77? Because that's the
93 is what I said.
93, 65. You
That's
definitely didn't
not
get it. Yeah, you didn't get it. Fuck, I
She-
got to do math here.
She's 12.
12. And what are you?
I'm like 20 something. So it's her,
It's not like 20 something.
isn't it?
No, because it's 77. You picked 93.
Yeah.
It'd be 15, 16, something like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so
I'm
Madison
still
did get it.
Yeah,
then.
that's what I'm saying. It's still
Madison
like
got
12.
it. She got both of them actually.
Critics went higher than the audience this time.
Or no, he got the first one.
Yeah, I
yeah.
was gonna say,
Dude,
what?
based on everything I've been seeing, I so thought the audience would be like, amazing.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
what I was
know.
seing,
That's
yeah.
what I was.
I mean,
I
they
thought I was
like
like
it.
I thought I was like the only person in the world that didn't like this.
I mean,
movie.
they like it, but it's not. They're not.
All right,
running.
well, let's hear the
when
trash.
it first came out, like
I want to hear the trash
Well,
talk.
I'm going to give you the critics' consensus first.
Oh,
It
yeah.
says offering just about everything longtime fans could hope for, while still managing to carry the franchise forward. Evil Dead Rise is all kinds of groovy.
Who wrote that consensus?
I don't know. Audience says Evil Dead Rises intense horror and inventive gore help make up for a so-so story that downplays the franchise's signature humor. Okay, there's never been a story in any of the fucking movies. Like, very moderately. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, and
very
you know, they
first one
talked
was,
about
like,
the
Ash,
humor.
what came with his girlfriend and
Yeah, and they talked about the humor. Okay, the first one didn't have humor that was
No, it
intentional.
supposed to be
Right.
scary.
And then also the last one, the reboot, didn't have much humor, like at all.
okay, I found a
So-
half star, but it is really long. Do you want me to read it or?
Only if it seems like there's going to be anything good in it. Did they talk about episodes at all?
No.
How about
Hellraiser.
Pinhead? You know, things that don't belong in that movie.
I'll give you this one. This is a 1 star.
All right.
And it's not as long. It says, no connection to the characters, no story, and nothing but tropes. Good action and gore. Do not a good film.
Do not a good.
Do not a good film.
Do not a good.
Not a good. Do not a good film.
That'd be my new
says,
thing at
do not
work.
a good film make.
Do not a film.
Especially when every scene is extremely tired trope.
Somebody fucks up at work. I'm like, "You do not
It
good."
gets 1 star for the production value, but that's all there is. Congratulations, you made a 1-star movie. You get a trophy for participating.
I wouldn't say
A
it's
half
a
star
1 star.
says bored the whole time. Okay. Whatever, man. Okay, we'll do a couple more here and move on. Hillary P says half a star.
Hillary P.
And she's verified too. Says it was awful. Not a single likable character. I disagree. None of the fun of the original or over the top amazingness of the 2013 version.
wasn't supposed to
Don't
be
waste your
comedy.
time or money. You can't get either back. Damn, you did not like it, did you?
If you're
I wouldn't tell
coming,
people
if
not
you're
to watch
coming
it.
into this movie thinking it's going to be a comedy like the other ones,
Okay.
then that you're sort
So
of
here's
mistaken.
a half a star. Half a star. Most boring horror movie ever. Generic, predictable, exposition dump. Just should have gone to Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah. Well, that movie
Taco
was kind
Bell?
of predictable. but
Taco
yeah.
Bell. Somebody was hungry when they wrote that.
Hands out.
Here's a half star. Unbearably gory. Duh. Which is which is
decided to watch an Evil Dead movie.
Yeah.
Unbearably gory. Did
Yeah.
you? What?
unbearably gory. Which is some people's thing, but definitely not for me.
Then
Why
why
would
did
you
you
watch
Why
watch
did
it?
you watch it then, man? Like that's what you
Dummy.
get with an Evil Dead movie.
Wow.
The only one that
Um,
didn't have a whole lot of gore was Army of Darkness. There wasn't a whole lot of gore in that one.
No, I guess you're right. There
yeah,
wasn't.
there really wasn't.
Yeah, you're right. There was just a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just a very slapsticky movie.
Oh, that
Yeah.
one's great. It's funny as hell.
so bad. it's
All right,
good.
here's half a star. The whole cinema laughed out loud more than once. Is that a bad thing, though? Sometimes that's good. Half a star. Not enough good. It was lame. No, or not good enough. It was lame.
Okay, but why?
Right? Half a star. Lame. Eyeball part is hilarious, though. Ha ha.
That's Crystal
Jesus.
right there.
Like,
Yeah, that must have been Crystal. She loves shit with eyes. She's got a thing for eyeballs. Half a star. Awful. Such a bad plot. Not scary in the slightest. Jump scares are the most common easy scares these days, which I hate. Still didn't even have any half decent ones of them.
Did we have?
No, not really. Which I could get my money back. Wish I could get my money. I mean, there was a couple of jump scares, guys.
I'm a jumpy person.
I didn't
jump.
see any jumps. I
Says
wasn't
half
jumping.
star. Not worth your time. Such a disconnect between characters.
Maybe
Pointless
the eyeball
scenes.
scene.
Uh,
I don't know, fuck. But-
says
really thought I'd
I'm
jump
I'm
that.
left with more questions than answers about the zombies. how to kill them, etc. Poor CGI and visual effects. And there's a bunch of random letters.
Well, of course they're confused. They called them zombies.
Right. 1 star. Just a bloody mess, and the storyline wasn't even a good one. It's a fucking. It's okay. I'm going to give you one more, and that's it. Half a star. Awful. Just awful. I did not know this was a cult film, and it said horror, but it really was kind of funny.
Why would they think this is a cult film?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm done. People are dumb.
They other ones were cults, but like
I don't
this
know.
is
Some people
not.
are dumb. They write their reviews and like it's like they just jot down words like this sounds really smart.
I didn't not know. is
I
what it
did
said.
not know.
Do not good.
You're not good at doing words.
Somebody, like I said, somebody fucks
not
something up.
Why
the
say
word.
many word when
Do
few
not
word
good.
do trick?
Why do many words? I only say one word work.
Kevin from Office.
That's what I said. Why do many word when
Yeah.
few word do trick?
All right, so let's get into Karen's trivia.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
To get into the character of an alternate personality, actress Alyssa Sutherland took inspiration from Jim Carrey's performance as Stanley Ipkiss in the '94 comedy The Mask.
I love the mask.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
The film was originally
It's
meant.
kind of funny, though.
I know that's why it made me laugh.
It'd been funny. It should have been like, smoking.
She comes up out of the water that was boiling, smoking.
Did you miss me? I guess not.
Guess not.
After she got shot too.
Okay. The film was originally meant to release exclusively through HBO Max via direct-to-streaming. But it performed so strongly during test screenings that the studio decided to release it theatrically instead. Oh, this was another gripe I had, but, well, yeah. It's the only Evil Dead film to not feature the 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88 Royal vehicle.
Yep.
Does anybody want to guess how they nodded to the vehicle in the movie?
The keys.
I'm lost.
No, I don't know.
The chainsaw was the same color.
Oh, wow. That's their
Really?
nod?
Yes, and we were all supposed to pick up on that.
Yeah. That's dumb.
Nobody going. No.
How are you going to pick up on that?
Should have made the chainsaw the same color as his.
Now, if you would have, maybe they could have just put the car in the goddamn parking garage.
That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Didn't even have to drive it, nothing. Just have it sitting there.
This was another thing that we were talking about, me and April and her boyfriend, and I was like, like bitching about the car, and I didn't write it. I should have wrote it down, but I didn't,
didn't you
because
write
I
it
was
down?
bitching about it on Saturday before I did the trivia, and I forgot to write it down, but it was in trivia, so I put it in there.
Write shit down, Karen.
If you look at Ellie's arms,
damn
they are
finger.
wrapped in in tattoos of vines. This is a nod to Cheryl from The Evil Dead, Bobby Joe from Evil Dead 2, and Mia from Evil Dead, who were all attacked and bound by vines. Director Lee Cronin stated in an interview that 6,500 liters or 1,720 gallons of fake blood were used for the film.
All for the elevator.
Probably.
Yeah, at least 1,000 of it. On the Extra
No, 'cause
Vision.
it was a 600-pound limit.
On the Extra Vision podcast, director Lee Cronin revealed that all the characters were named after actors that had previously appeared in the Evil Dead series. The pizza place is called Henrietta's, a reference to Henrietta Nobi, the demon in the basement in Evil Dead 2. The tree surgeon truck is named Fonda's, possibly as a nod to Bridget Fonda, who appeared as Ash's girlfriend in the opening flashback scene in Army of Darkness.
Makes sense.
Bruce Campbell cameo. In the first of the 3 records Danny plays, Bruce can be heard saying, "Destroy it, it's called the Book of the Dead for a reason." At the Beyond Fest premiere, director Lee Cronin suggested Campbell could be playing Ash again in the recording, as the series has had multiple instances of Ash going back in time and encountering the Necronomicon Ex Mortis.
Yeah, just read the comic books.
Yeah. In A homage to previous entries in the Evil Dead franchise, Ellie is possessed in an elevator that restrains her by violently wrapping electrical wires around her arms, legs, and neck in a manner similar to how trees and branches restrained Cheryl, Bobby, Joe, and Mia from the Evil Dead 2, and Evil Dead, respectively, when they were possessed.
Hey, she put up a good fight, though.
Yeah, that's all the trivia there is.
Except for the eyeball part.
Yeah.
I'm sure more
the
trivia
eyeball.
will come out over time.
Oh
This is a
yeah,
new movie.
there's not much for new
Horror movies usually have a lot of trivia. These just got to give it time for them to come out. Usually it takes interviews and everything else.
Yep.
And people usually come out about things later on down the road, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, that wraps us up for this week. Next week, we are going to be talking about that new hotness that is the Super Mario Brothers movie. It's finally out on digital, so we can all watch it.
Yeah.
Which I think most of us have seen it.
I've seen it twice.
You guys haven't seen it? I thought one of you guys went to see it.
Not yet.
No? Okay, well, this is their first time watching. This will be me and Madison's second time watching.
No, this would be my third.
Madison's third, so she knows the movie better than anybody. This will be my second time watching it. I could read you the plot synopsis, but, like, what's the point? I mean,
probably
it's the
wrong.
Mario Brothers. Huh?
I mean, come on.
It's about Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Yeah, it's about Mario,
a-
Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Instead of they're trying to save Peach, they're trying to save Luigi.
That's
Yeah, my
exactly
kids
it,
wanna watch
too.
So I'll probably watch it twice this
All right, plot synopsis is as follows. The plumber named Mario travels through an underground labyrinth with his brother Luigi trying to save a captured princess. Feature film adaptation of the popular video game. That is not true at all. That is not how that movie goes. This plot synopsis is
Liar!
incorrect.
Where'd you
It
get
actually it's from Watch.
The Watch app?
Yeah.
That's strange.
So it should say a plumber named Mario travels through an underground labyrinth with his brother Luigi, trying to save his brother Luigi with the help of the princess, because that is how the movie goes.
Somebody didn't watch it and just phoned it
That's
in.
what it sounds like. This movie comes in an hour 32 minutes, rated PG. It stars cast voices of
Charlie Day.
Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Anya Taylor-Joy, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key, Seth Rogen, Fred Armisen, Kari Payton, Sebastian something, Charles Martin, a bunch of other people. So next week we'll be talking about Mario. There's no way to stream it. You just kind of have to rent it right now or buy it. It's on digital. It's really expensive to rent. It's $25 if you want to rent it.
How much is it to buy it?
$30. You might as well just
might
buy
as
Might as
it.
well just
Yeah.
buy it. Yeah.
It's worth it to buy it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It is worth
It
it,
is.
honestly. It is a
It's a Mario.
really good movie. But we'll get to that next
It's a
week.
he Mario.
So check us out on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble.
Rumble.
I always say Tumblr. Rumble. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all
Instagram.
those things.
Comment.
Make sure you check us out on wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever.
Rate.
Make sure you rate us, because that'd be awesome. Make sure you rate us.
You should,
And
Comment.
should comment. and
like,
tell
share,
God he should
comment.
post
Yeah,
every
comment
week.
to us, man. Like, give us some words.
We'd like to
Oh.
hear from people.
We like words.
Email us your phone numbers.
Email us your phone numbers so we can harass you.
We had a phone call this week.
Did we really?
From Alec.
Yeah.
Oh, Alec.
Alec called
Did
us.
you get?
It was
yeah?
really funny.
he's like, first time caller, long time listener.
Number one fan.
I'm the number one fan. I love you guys.
That was great. That was so great, Alec.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So call us. Well, we'll call you. You give us your number, we'll call you.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you on the air. And
You better be ready.
and honestly, let us know if this whole format that we're going to here with going
guys
through the
enjoy
movie, do you enjoy that, or do you just like us randomly talking about what we love and hate about the movie? I like going through the movie.
I kind of do too.
I like doing that because it really gives a rundown of the movie. It helps us recap the movie and all that stuff. So you let us know if you like that or if you like the old way of doing it. I like the new way, but you guys
The feedback I've gotten is that the new format is liked.
is
Just
what?
from last week, that the new format is liked.
It's liked. That's good. So, okay, I like that. It comes with heavy spoilers, but, if you like it, then we'll keep doing it. So just let us know. Like I said,
really heavy spoilers.
Yeah. We go through the whole movie.
Essentially, you're gonna hear about the whole movie. So.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
gonna
you
hear.
just listen to the podcast. You should know.
So just like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment, rate us, all that good stuff. And until next week, we're gonna do Mario Brothers. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
And until next week, it's a me, Mario.
That's your name.
Yeah, it's my new name now.
Okay.
I wonder if I have
for
a
next
Mario
week.
suit. If I have a Mario suit,
I
I'm
thought
gonna
you
wear it.
did.
I don't
Oh, I
remember.
thought you
No,
did.
I-
No, that's Gavin.
No.
Gavin
You
does.
could wear Gavin's.
I think
there
Cody.
you go.
I think Cody might have one.
Oh, I'm sure she's.
See if I
got
can
us.
borrow it
You
from
should
her.
get one of the blow up ones.
Sit down here like.
Hey, we should all dress up. We should all dress up. Who do you want to be?
I don't have the money to
Who do you
buy
wanna
a
be?
costume.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mushroom.
I have a lot of Mario stuff though, so it wouldn't be hard to find something.
Do you think if they make another one, they'll put Daisy and Rosita in it? Or Rosetta?
I mean, Rosalina?
That's what I said.
Just put like a
I
little
don't know.
character of like a Mario character in front of us, and then we. There you go.
All right. Until next week. See you guys later.
Goodbye.
Bye.